Good morning, and welcome to the Demons Clubcast episode 9 with your hosts K13, Mad Dog, Meanjoegreen, and our special edition today coming at you from the Demons Club. We've been waiting for her for a minute to get her intro in here. Kira, very happy to have her here as well, and myself, UncleChowdr. And since this is Kira's first time on the pod and she didn't get her intro in, let's have her talk about herself a little bit, and then she can start with what she's been playing lately.
All right. Well, my name is kirakaira. Yo, girl. You can call me Kira. I am a content creator and Twitch streamer. That's pretty much about it. There's nothing else very special about me. I am the horror game player of the club here, and I've been playing a lot of Lethal Company lately. Speaking of horror games, so that's been a lot of fun. And I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, of course. Shout out Game of the Year. Very well worth it. And,
Pog, pog, pog,
yeah.
pog, 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 pog.
Talk, 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 talk.
No, pog, pog, pog,
Oh,
pog, pog.
pog. I was like, talk. I am talking.
Joe's the resident BG3 lover.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I'm the dick rider.
Oh, hell yeah. BG3 all the way, dude. It's literally taken over my life. If I'm not playing Lethal Company, I'm playing Baldur's Gate, so
Yeah, it's so good.
it's so good.
It does.
Some of the clips I've been seeing of Lethal Company are fucking absolutely so goddamn funny. Like, I cry
I'm going
laughing
to
at some of
attempt
the
to
shit.
try a new game today, honestly. Like, I need to lay off the BG3 and try some new games, honestly. So I might do that today.
Lethal Company is a lot of fun, and like with all of the different monsters that are in the game too, you never know. Like when I first started playing, I didn't realize how many monsters there actually were. So like when you're just running around the building and you're collecting your scrap and you're playing the game and yada yada yada, all of a sudden there's just a new monster. It scares the ever living hell out of you, and you have no idea what to do. You don't know how to avoid it, and then suddenly you're just dead. You have no idea what just happened.
Amazing.
It is.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah, I meant to check out your stream yesterday, but you didn't stream very long. I saw the notification in Discord, but it showed that your stream had ended. I was like, oh shit, I missed it.
Yeah, I was so mad about that. So I was gonna play Lethal Company with my friends, but then I had a little personal emergency, aka my kid decided to fall off a curb and bust her head open.
Oh no!
Dang,
I had
is she all right?
Yeah, she's totally fine. She's a little trooper, but it made me nervous because everyone was texting me saying like, "Hey, she's hurt. She's hurt. Let's go." I was like, "Oh god."
Jeez. Well, I'm glad she's okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, no
Yeah, she's
kidding.
totally fine.
No kidding. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, then let's talk. Fucking Kyle. I'm gonna jump right to Kyle because we are featuring his gameplay. What games have you been playing? We're showing one right now.
Yeah, Predecessor. Super glad that's out. At least for console. It's been out for a little while for PC. So Revival of Paragon. Epic Games originally made the game. Was super addicted to it. Was really sad when they closed servers, but they made some weird changes to the gameplay and the functionality of it. But Predecessor kind of going back to the old roots of what Paragon was, not so much like a card-based system, but super fun. It's a MOBA, third-person MOBA. Plays a lot like like League of Legends and stuff like that. But this is just the PlayStation beta, so kind of small, but hopefully get some more people on it. And can't wait
Crossplay,
for
right?
it. Yeah, it is crossplay actually, which I didn't realize at first.
Ooh,
Yes, I
It's
have
only
it.
$8 on Steam right now.
It's only
Ooh,
$8 on
double nice.
Steam. I have it on Steam as well. I actually just downloaded it because it is crossplay, so I'm probably gonna be hooking up my good old Wii Pro controller over here, my Switch Pro controller to play some Predecessor.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Why aren't you using your Xbox controller?
I'm gonna because I like my Xbox controller, but I want to try it with the Switch controller because I really like the Switch controller.
It might work. Steam will convert it, but like if you look at the page on predecessor, I was looking at controller support specifically, and it says PS5 and Xbox controller specifically. So
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if it'll map properly. You might have to like remap buttons or something weird like that if you use your Nintendo controller, but it might just work out the box. I don't know.
Okay, I might try. I might try both, but yeah, I do have my Elite Series 2 controller, and it's
I would
very easy.
recommend that, honestly.
It's
Yeah, I would
very
recommend
easy.
that.
Yeah, because that way it's very easy just to go right over. So.
Even PlayStation, like as an avid PC player, like I had a lot of PlayStation controllers laying around, and I always wanted to use those over my Xbox controllers. But with it being with Microsoft Windows, your Xbox controller drivers are built into Windows already, so you don't have to go through any bullshit to
Yep.
use it properly. So I would highly recommend just using your Xbox
Oh,
controller.
I do for most games. That's what I played Spider-Man remastered with, was my Xbox controller. So
yeah, you'll probably have to like download drivers and go through some bullshit for it to work properly with your Nintendo controller.
Well, the Steam home interface, the Steam, whatever it's called, when you have a controller hooked up to your PC and you hit the home button, it brings up that like Steam home interface for like the controller, whatever. It worked just fine for the Nintendo Switch controller that time when I tried it with that. So
Yeah, if you're just operating it like Steam, you can use your controller to operate Steam, but I'm talking about the game specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll try a couple of them out. And then anything else, Kyle? Just besides predecessor?
Warzone, obviously, with that launching as well. It's actually been pretty fun, other than just it's a constant sweat fest right now. But
Yeah.
map is awesome. The mechanics are pretty fluid. TTK, I think, needs a little bit of work, and some of the loot that drops, like there's way too many gulag entry tokens, there's way too many redeploy packs. It's basically Resurgence at this point.
Dude, I was getting them in Resurgence all night too.
Yes, I just don't like that. Like, you gotta earn your way back, in my opinion. Like with Verdansk, it wasn't as easy to come back and actually like be good and stay alive.
Well, shit.
Sniping is back, baby. That's all I got to say. Sniping is back, baby.
Yeah, sniping is back for sure. After the first day, we had to figure out kind of what the meta weapons were, which I think we got the grasp of already. And then all the big streamers putting out their builds.
I don't know. I've been seeing. I follow a few pages on Twitter, and it's been shaking up quite a bit lately. Everyone's talking about the Bruin MK9 now, that LMG. Apparently there's an attachment for it that allows you to have a 60-round magazine instead of like one of those big bags, so it's a much faster reload, and it helps with the recoil control because it makes the gun lighter. It makes the gun a little bit easier to, or not recoil. It helps with the mobility of the weapon. Sorry. So I'm not 100% sure how that's going to shake up. I do kind of want to try it out. It's just like you were talking about, the TTK being increased in that game, the health being increased by 50 has really affected how a lot of those guns feel. There's a lot of guns I was using in the last version of Warzone that just feel like you're farting on people now.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Just like nothing's happening.
Yeah, so
but I think mostly though, as long as we're getting the movement and familiarity with the map and buildings and escape routes and entry points, that's the big point.
Yeah, the movement and finding all the new jump spots that are available that you can hit, like things that I'm just looking for things that you wouldn't at first think that you could grab onto, so I've been trying all kinds of new stuff just where I can.
Yeah, I found a couple of nice ones too.
Yeah, so I think
it's a good map.
Yeah, I do like this new map. Will say I do like this new map. I have been enjoying it so far. I haven't found anything too atrocious with it, so at least as far as I have played. I haven't found a redeploy pack though. That's funny that you say that, because I've found gulag tokens, but I've not found one redeploy pack yet. So
we found a bunch yesterday. I was honestly like, wow, this is a lot. You're basically playing Resurgence, and I just don't like Resurgence.
Yeah.
Coming back just on a timer, that's so underwhelming to me.
Yeah. I mean, Resurgence is nice for warm up, and I do like to play it when I'm playing solo, just because when you're playing solo and I play Resurgence like quads, like yeah, you can kind of depend on randos when you're not talking to them, because I'm not trying to strike up a conversation all the time. And
Yeah.
yeah, and like and sometimes I just like to listen because they say funny stuff. Like it's but they I don't I'll play Resurgence that then, because it's much easier for me as a solo person playing with randos to like depend on hopefully the homie will just stay alive long enough for me to get back into the game, and then I can back them up silently and kind of just do my thing while they're fighting or looking for people. So
You guys don't like to talk to randos?
no, not all the time.
Not at all.
And I end up muting a lot of them because it's like I don't
It's so crazy. I'm gonna have to interview you guys about this, because I'm literally making a video about not specifically the communication, but it's like a key factor in like online service games and like the glory days and the Halo days of like and COD, of like just everyone in the lobbies fucking having mics and going ham and having a good time. It's actually a video about BattleBit, because I've seen a stark comparison between the two, and how like everyone on BattleBit has a fucking mic and they're so just overjoyed and having a good time and want to meet. It's just a very fascinating difference between now and then, and how like games like BattleBit, everyone's using the mic. It's like it's totally different. It's really fascinating.
I mean,
anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine. I should clarify a little bit. I will talk to randos every once in a while, but it really depends. Like, how it's in a lot of
You're
it
in the
is
right
just
mood, man.
the right mood, and it's Call of Duty. Like everyone knows what Call of Duty voice lobbies are like. Half the time, dude, I spend my time muting people because they're dropping the N word, or they're saying, they're just throwing out all types of slurs. And and I'm on Twitch, and I don't want some random person to come in and hear that and
get your ass banned.
Exactly. So
I totally get that.
So
yeah.
half the time
that's toxic as fuck.
Exactly. So half the time I don't say anything. I just pretend to be silent, and I'll feel it out for a little bit. And if they seem like they're decent, like a decent person, they're actually playing the game and like communicating, then I'll like throw out some things and I'll talk a little bit. But for the most part, I ain't trying to talk to everybody. I think it depends on culture. I think it depends on game as well. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, game culture for sure. Because like there's some very toxic games. Like Overwatch was one of those games.
Overwatch is terrible, dude.
Oh,
MOBAs,
God, dude.
MOBAs are terrible.
Yeah, dude. League of Legends
like
is
the
super
commands.
toxic as well.
Now that I think about it, like most multiplayer games are pretty fucking toxic now.
Yeah. So it's
commands, like someone dies and you just spam "good job."
Exactly. I mean, even
Fortnite's not too bad. I don't hear a lot of people talking in Fortnite in general, but it's when people do talk in Fortnite, it doesn't. I don't hear that, but I don't play these games as often as you guys do.
Yeah, and see that's the thing is like it's different from game to game, and I know that some people like Lutzy in the chat over here, he loves talking to randos, but and Lutzy has a good time talking to randos. I've been in the party listening to him say some things to some random people. All right. So I just, and every once in a while you meet some really awesome people that, you can end up playing more games with. And that's happened to me multiple times.
Same.
A guy that I play Fortnite with all the time, shout out to Kupo. He always is a great homie to play games with, and I met him through another friend just playing random Fortnite, like hopping into a party, and like we just ended up becoming great friends from playing games. So that shit happens all the time, and I love that. But it Call of Duty voice chat lobbies usually super toxic, especially the multiplayer matches right after the match is over and you're in that little end lobby spot for just a second. That's the worst, dude. That's the worst. And it's always the guy at the bottom of the scoreboard talking the most shit, dude. It's always that guy, dude. It's always that guy.
Don't talk about me like that,
Joe. So I every time that happens, I will every once in a while just unmute my mic if it's the guy on the bottom of the scoreboard talking shit. I'm just like shh down there, shh. and that's all I'll say. And it usually pisses them off enough where they start yelling some curse words at me, and I just kind of giggle, and then it goes away, and then that's that. You know what I
Move
mean?
on with your life.
Yeah, exactly,
All the way
exactly.
up here, man.
Exactly. But the problem is like Call of Duty's made it now so that you don't stay in that lobby with those players like you used to back in the day. So
Yeah, you would literally transfer from lobby to
the
lobby
lobby
to
with
lobby.
the same motherfuckers, so you could just sit there and continuously talk shit to the other team and just get them super mad, and you're playing the same group of guys for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, because no one's leaving the lobby because everybody hates everybody. Yeah, it's
Yep.
yeah, kids nowadays wouldn't survive old school lobbies.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, back when games were fun, man, for sure. I can't stand multiplayer anymore. It's so hard to camo grind because I just hate multiplayer.
Dude, that's how I am. But that also being said, I am on a perpetual 14-day chat ban. Like,
Oh yeah.
dude,
Ooh.
seriously, I get off one, next game I'm on one. I'm just like, all right, whatever.
What are you doing, Mad Dog? You cursing in the
No.
mic?
You betcha, dude. Call of Duty.
Dude.
He's
fucking
like,
hate me.
yeah.
Of course, they hate
Dude,
me.
you're getting reported off them hot mics, ain't you? Every time you die, you're saying some obscene shit.
Oh, probably. Dude, I don't even know what I say half the time. I don't even
Probably.
Okay.
Sorry,
I have to say, no
I'm
matter
an
what,
O-liner.
no matter what, okay, no matter what, the fucking hot mics, best thing to happen to Call of Duty. Best thing to happen
Oh,
to Call
yeah.
of Duty. There's something so just satisfying about when you get a great snipe off on somebody and you hear them for just a second. What the? It's the best
You hear 'em
shit.
squeal in the
Yeah.
distance. They're like,
Yeah, exactly. Squeal, little piggy, squeal.
No. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've done it, and there's been times where I've like let the anger go, and it just comes out, and I'm just like, ding. Okay, there's my notification. Another chat ban.
Well, but sometimes you can,
Pretty much.
I've also seen some of the funniest TikToks. Like every time this one guy died in Warzone, he would moan really just sexually into the microphone every time he died.
Yes.
So every time somebody would kill him, they just hear the most sexual shit they've ever heard. And they're like, whoa! It's so funny. He was getting their
you
reactions.
know what some of my favorite clips are? Do you remember on the old Xboxes? I don't know if it does it on the new Xboxes, but you can do voice commands to turn them
Oh,
on and
yeah.
off or whatever.
Yes.
There was a motherfucker playing with like surround sound and everyone could hear it through their headsets. They're like,
Oh,
man,
God.
we can hear your echo. And so I think it was Tim the Tat Man. He was like,
Yep.
Xbox, turn off. And then the guy left the lobby after that. It was fucking
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, that's
He
right.
had it live clipped. It was amazing.
Yeah, and I will say,
forgot about that.
Lutzy brought up a funny, proximity chat is pretty funny sometimes too. Like the other night I was playing with Lowe's and a couple of his homies who had proximity chat on, and they were just talking shit the entire time. Like as they're chasing down
God.
people, they're just talking shit. It was so funny to me. I was like, this guy is relentless. And like
It was.
and
I was there
Lutzy,
for that
yeah,
stream.
yes.
Oh my God.
and
Oh,
Lutzy, I will never forget in Warzone 2 when we were running around playing duos and me and Lutzy ran into this little kid and we like broke his armor and he started screaming. He's like, stop. And Lutzy goes, give me all your money and I'll let you go. And he fucking did. And we let him run away. It was so funny, dude. I felt like such a bully. I was like, oh my God, we just took his lunch money.
Could have killed him as he ran away.
Dude.
The funniest one I think I ever saw was talking proxy chat made me think about this, but Aaron the Logo.
Dude, that guy is so funny, dude.
Dude, he had one clip he put up where he downed a guy and then he sat there and revive pistoled him.
Over
As soon as the
and
guy got
over.
up, he downed him just over and over. And finally, after, I don't know, probably like the third or fourth time he revive pistol, this guy just like, I don't know, he got lucky and popped a throwing knife just right at the perfect time and killed Aaron. Aaron's like,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You can throw those bitches quick.
But we did. K13's what we were playing got us into a tangent. That's all right though. Let's jump into Mad Dog. What have you been playing? I know it's been a while since you streamed because you've been doing some shit, but you've been playing anything?
Yeah. So I'm roughly, I would say probably like 35% through on the story for Hogwarts Legacy. Of
Yeah.
course, we won't talk about the side missions. I think I'm like recommended level 5, and I'm like level 12. Like that's all I do is the side missions.
Yeah.
Run around checking the map out. Everything you say about that game, Chowder, is the fucking truth. I mean, the wand play, the fucking everything.
I
It's
ended my
been such a
stream with it.
blast.
Yeah, I ended my stream with that game last night. So
Yeah.
I love that game so fucking
I,
much.
I think I'm gonna do my first playthrough off stream, and then when I do my second house, I'll do
Ooh.
on stream.
Do you know about for anybody who doesn't know, if you're going to play Hogwarts Legacy again, I nerded out about this and I was really excited. If you go to I forget what the name of the website is, but there's a website and it's all connected to like the Wizarding World shit. You can go there and take like a weird, stupid little personality test and get placed into a house and get your wand with all your stuff. And then you sign into that from Hogwarts Legacy when you're playing it, and it'll transfer all that stuff into the game. So when you play it, kind of makes it feel a little bit more natural, and you like get your wand that you get from your test, and you get placed into the house that you got from your test as well.
Yeah, I have those links. It's the WB account, and then the Harry Potter fans club.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, so I was playing that, and then finally Warzone 3, quote unquote, drop. So I've been kind of grinding that out with the squad. But we play Resurgence because we're a bunch of little whiny babies. So they brought in Ashika and Vondel, and I will say this: bringing the movement from Modern Warfare 3 onto those two maps, I was like creaming myself last night. It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was great.
I played a match of Ashika once already, but only one match. I've been playing on the new map just to learn it.
Yeah, see, we did the first time we played Resurgence after everyone got it downloaded, they had like the 3 sections of the big map, like the pop-off power, the suburbs, and one other section. Those were your small map designations for Resurgence.
Mm-hmm. They still have that right now. It's just in quads though. Anything below quads,
Okay.
anything below quads is Ashika or Vondel.
Right. So we did that, kind of learning the map a little bit. Haven't gone into any battle royale. But yeah, it's pretty much just been Call of Duty and Hogwarts. I have Hogwarts on both systems, on both consoles. So my daughter started her own Hogwarts on the PlayStation 4 upstairs.
Hell yeah.
Just her wanting to dink around. I've been meaning to get on Fortnite with her, but every time I come down, I have the itch for Warzone. So I feel bad for her. But every day I talk to her, she's like, "Hey, I got another victory royale," and I'm like, "Shut up, kid. You're doing better than me."
Atta girl, hey.
Word.
Yeah, that's about it.
Jojo?
Yo.
What have you been playing?
Well, I should probably try something other than Baldur's Gate, but that's probably what I'll end up playing today.
Yeah.
I've played through it like at least 4.5 times, but I've been really scared to do the Dark Urge playthrough because I've heard it's like really fucked up. Like
it is.
You got to be very prepared for it. And so I've been, I'm Mr. Nice Guy in these games usually, so it's something that I've been very interested in. So I think that's probably I want to make a video about the Dark Urge specifically because it is dark. From what I understand, I've tried not to spoil it for myself too much, but I've seen and heard some things, and I'm like, oh man, I got to try this out. That sounds nuts. So, and I want to make a video about it. So we'll see.
Word. I was gonna ask you. I've been meaning to ask. Are you just full burnt out on Diablo?
Oh shit. Yeah, I haven't touched it honestly since like when we were playing together. Honestly, I went really, really hard on it and probably put like 200 or 300 hours into it. But and honestly, it gets a bad rep and I understand why, but I'm not like It's mostly the monetization and the greediness that I don't like
Mhm.
in the battle pass and stuff. Like I paid $100 for it, but like for me, I feel like I got my money's worth out of it because I knew the amount of time I was going to put into it.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't like when I play Diablo, I don't really think of it too much as a live service game. I like I play it by myself most of the time, so it just feels kind of like a single player experience, just looty type of game or whatever. So I don't take it too seriously. I'll probably pick it back up when a new season starts. I'm just kind of letting them iron it out and
See, and that's kind of what I've
um,
been thinking is I've been waiting for this new season to start, the next one. Like I know they're right in one right now. So I've been waiting.
right.
I've been thinking about once the new one starts of picking it back up and checking out this new incoming one.
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of what I've been planning all along. I did dip my toes into the second season and put like maybe 15 hours into it. And it wasn't terrible, but there was just so many other things going on at the time
Mhm.
with video games and stuff. I had put so much time into Diablo. I kind of just like forced myself to not play it. I mean, I probably would have played it and enjoyed it, but I'm not on the bandwagon of absolutely hating it. It could be a lot better for sure, but
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
I feel like I got my money's worth out of it because I put a fuck ton of time into it.
Yeah. No, I definitely plan on playing it more. I just been holding off because, like you said, there's a lot of other games that were coming out and that I was waiting for, and also I've just you know get the itch to play other games sometimes. I
Yeah, for sure.
I've been watching Harry Potter, all the Harry Potter movies, so now I'm just like got the itch to
Yep.
play Hogwarts Legacy. Like that happens. So
Yeah, and that's what I was
Yep.
gonna say. There's just too many good games. Like even if I get it's the live service games that are dangerous or just even massive like MMOs. I am fucking bad. I just don't touch them anymore because I have this addictive personality with them, like Final Fantasy 14 and I never played World of Warcraft, but I would probably get, enthralled with it and probably, Destiny was the same. It's kind of baby's first MMO, but it's the same, it's the same kind of gameplay loop or whatever that's addicting. So I try to stay away from them just because they take up so much of my time and I just can't be playing the same game over and over and over again when there's just a vast backlog of games that I haven't even touched yet.
yep, I know I get you on that.
Yeah, I definitely can feel you.
That's it
Alrighty,
for me, man.
alrighty. Well, I guess I'm the last one to go. So the games I've been playing have just been Warzone. Been trying to get in as much of that as possible when I can. And then uh Hogwarts Legacy. I'm on a new playthrough, playing through as a Gryffindor. I have a Slytherin character that's only level 3 that I plan on going back to. And my first playthrough was a Ravenclaw because that was the house I got placed into. And then I do plan on doing a Hufflepuff character as well, just because I know that there is a specific exclusive mission for each house. So I'm gonna try to get through all 4 of those playthroughs to do all of those because I know there's an achievement for doing those. So I would like to get all those. But as for Warzone, like I said earlier, sniping's back, baby. So I've been enjoying myself, getting some crispy headshots.
Oh
Um,
my God, Chow, you have been getting some clean ones.
yeah,
Hot damn, boy.
I know I've been enjoying myself with the snipers. The cat AMR is definitely uh uh fucking just it hits so hard and there's hardly any bullet drop. It's been a good time, but there is a couple other sniper rifles that are one hitting as well. Um Even without the explosive mag, I've noticed. So I'm definitely going to play around, and I hope that they continue to make that kind of the norm, because I don't want to just use the cat AMR, even though that is a fun sniper rifle to use, and I've really gotten its bullet drop down pretty well at this point. So, um, but I mean, when I say sniping's back, it's just as scary now to snipe because you got to poke your head out to look, and if someone else is as good as you are, it's a risky
Yep.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting domed all night last night.
Yeah, it's a risky business, man. If you see Sniper Glint, do not stick around. Do not keep your head out. Hide. That's that's the best advice I got for you. Um, the TTK, like we talked about, that has been a little strange to deal with. It's been a little, I don't know. It just, with the increase, it just feels, the game feels so much different when you're shooting at somebody, honestly. Like, I feel like I'm putting so many more bullets into people to kill them. I don't know if that's just me, but um it's still a good time. Like, still a good time. Also, off stream, I've been playing Steep a little bit again. I really enjoy that game. For those who don't know what Steep is, it's just a snowboarding skiing game, like big mountain snowboarding. I have played the shit out of that game, and I have a bunch of DLC for it because I just am obsessed with winter sports, and I love watching all that shit, and I love playing those games. And there's not a lot of good ones, in my opinion. Riders Republic came out a little while ago, and it's just so arcadey. Like, it's fun in its own right, and I have a good time when I'm playing it if I just want to screw around and do some ridiculous shit. But I like Steep because it just feels a little bit more heavy when you're, like, actually boarding around and skiing around. It feels really heavy and really nice. But that's about all I've been playing, I think. Yeah, I mean, besides the weird phone games, but phone games.
Phone games take over my life too, dude. It's
Yeah.
all right.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'll be the first to admit, dude, I'm a Fruit Ninja fanatic. I paid for the full version of Fruit Ninja so I can have
my
no
Oh,
gosh.
hell
ads.
yeah.
I'm a Fruit
Hell yeah.
Ninja
I did that, man.
fanatic.
That surprised me.
Dude, I love that game, dude. I do. I just, I'm obsessed, and
So
I'm gonna be getting a
what
new
you need
phone.
to do.
I'm gonna be getting a new phone pretty soon. I'm gonna be, I took really good care of my S21 Ultra, and because I can trade it in for $800 towards the S23 Ultra, and it's only like $11 a month payment. So on top of my
Nice.
phone bill, which is hardly anything, so it's gonna have a bigger screen, which is better for me to watch my anime and play Fruit Ninja on. So
I feel it, man. I've been playing Simpsons Tapped Out for like 8 years. I think I put it in Discord like 340 characters now, and it climbs like at least once or twice a week. So
yeah,
You
and
it
bet.
just takes longer and longer to play.
yep,
Yeah.
and also Angry Birds 2. That's my other addiction, is Angry Birds 2. I'm at
Oh
like
yeah.
I'm at like level 300 and something on that fucking game, and the first thing, I'm going to complete the entire first thing before I move on. I've been playing that game for a while.
I
So,
just leveled up to level 400 on Simpsons.
Nice.
Yeah.
okay, so the next thing I'd like to hop into is the Game Awards, because that just recently happened. Big thing. We all definitely watched, and no surprise, fucking Baldur's Gate 3 took pretty much most of the awards, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they took a few,
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Let's go.
Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate. Player's Voice, Baldur's Gate. Best Direction was given to Alan Wake 2. Best Narrative was given to Alan Wake 2. Best Art Direction was given to Alan Wake 2. Best Score and Music was Final Fantasy 16. Best Audio Design was Hi-Fi Rush. Best Performance was Neil Newbon as Astarion, Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh my
Yes.
god, he gives me goosebumps, dude.
Oh, I love him. I
Dude,
love
I'm
him.
so serious. He's probably one of the best actors in any video game that I've played. It was such a great performance.
Nice.
And just as a quick side note, during the Game Awards, it was announced Baldur's Gate 3 is now available on Xbox.
Okay, yeah, that is something that I want to talk about because sorry to cut you off,
No,
Chow. I
you're
didn't
fine.
mean to do that. Um, During the speeches, you notice how they were rushing people, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are pissed off about that. And um Neil was supposed to announce that, but like since he was being so rushed and was trying to thank everybody, he didn't even have time to
Yeah.
announce it.
Yeah, that was pretty
Which
shitty.
just pissed me off because I was waiting for the announcement. Like everyone, sorry, my cat's meowing.
So is mine.
Everyone was expecting it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And he was just giving this heartfelt speech, and same with when Sven was up there accepting Game of the Year award. He was talking about like past colleagues that had died that month, and they're like rushing him. Oh my God, it pissed me off.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley was too worried about the timing, and I think part of that is because of Christopher Judge's fucking 20-minute fucking speech last year. But
right. And that's what I was gonna
About
say.
that.
To Jeff's defense, my video that I published last night, it was intentionally like initially I was gonna kind of roast the Game Awards, but I actually did some research, and I think this might be a full-blown video, but in research doing the last video, going back to the beginning, when the Game Awards was like on Spike TV and shit.
Mhm.
Watch my recent video. I do touch on it and show some footage from it, but I was gonna roast the Game Awards, but then I got a huge appreciation for Jeff Keighley after watching this documentary about it from the channel Burback. But I touched on it in my video, but it used to be fucking so out of touch and so terrible when it was on Spike TV on cable. It was one of the it disrespected gamers. It was horrible, and Jeff Keighley really stepped in and it just really fixed it. So I get a lot of the hate that the Game Awards gets, but I really had a newfound appreciation when I looked back at what it was, and
Jeff Keighley made that
it pales in comparison to today. Yeah, he fixed it.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley made that culture what it is today, and I've heard a lot of other content creators, like people who are like game journalists in the industry, talk about that before. That Jeff Keighley is a big part of the reason why the Game Awards are so much bigger than what they used to be, and the appreciation is deeper there. No, I've definitely heard the same sentiments before.
Yeah, and he always had a hand in it, like even back in the day, but he didn't run the whole show back then. He was kind of like a host in it and like was a part of Spike TV, but he was the one that literally took his own money and made it his own thing, and got the rights to it and just changed the whole culture, like you were saying, around the entire event. And in comparison, it's taken so much more seriously than what it used to be.
Yep.
And I touch on that in my video that I was going to just roast the Game Awards and how upsetting it is and this and that, and the same echo chamber of cancel culture that you hear on YouTube. But after doing some actual research, I really think a lot of people should watch that video that I watched. It's really good.
And just yeah, I 100% agree with you. I'm gonna jump back into the Game Awards list here. The next after the best performance from Baldur's Gate 3 was innovation and accessibility, which went to Forza Motorsport. Games for Impact. Chia, is that how that's pronounced? I don't know 100%. It's
No idea, man. No idea.
TCHIA. I want to say that's Chia, but I'm not 100% sure.
Maybe just Chai. I don't know.
Chaya, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry if I butchered that. Best ongoing was Cyberpunk 2077. I don't agree with that, but I don't agree with that at all.
Game, dude. Great game,
Yeah,
great game. And I even touched on that on one of my videos. Is that it's a great game now.
Yes,
it's there's no denying that it is fantastic. But is that an ongoing game when you're fixing something that was broken?
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, not really.
If anything,
and DLC, like that wouldn't have been DLC. That's just what should have been in the game to begin with, and we all know it. So
out of all
no
the
Game Awards. No Game Award is going to be Games Awards is going to be perfect, but that's just something that I also touched on too. It's weird.
Out of all the games in that category, in my opinion, it should have went to Fortnite, but that's just me.
Absolutely, best man. That game doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah, Fortnite should have won that.
It's popular to hate Fortnite for some reason. And
I know.
I like what I like, you know what I mean? And it's maybe a game for kids or whatever, but I'm a fucking kid at heart. I don't care, dude. I play what's fun.
Dude, it's more than a game for kids, dude. I would love to see someone have that argument with like Tim and Dr. Disrespect and all the boys that sit around and play that game all the time and have a great time.
But like ironically, like if you watch a Ninja stream, like he's like, this game is for kids. You know what I mean? But like he's a professional at that game, so it's like it's a different understanding though.
Yeah.
Like the majority, like, and what I mean by that is it's aimed at kids. That doesn't mean that only kids are supposed to play it. It's not like Hello Kitty's Island Adventure or something like that, or you know
Shout
what I
out to
mean,
Lutzy.
or a Barbie game or something like that. Like it's a broad audience, but like mostly kids are playing it, and there's no denying that,
Yeah.
you know, is what I'm getting at.
I mean, if they want complexes from playing against a bunch of us sweats, then so be it. Let's just develop the next generation.
Dude,
Got
I'm
it.
definitely not a sweat in Fortnite anymore. Okay, I get slapped around in that game by kids all the time. It's just is what
I
it is.
suck at any shooter nowadays, dude. I just I don't know if I'm getting old or what.
I mean,
And
there
then
is that.
the next category was best community support, which was won by Baldur's Gate 3.
Hey.
Little side note, the fact that Destiny 2 was even nominated for that pisses me off.
Very strange, very strange. But like honestly, I got to thinking about it in my research for the last video too. When a lot of people are getting their opinions in about this, it's at the beginning of the year.
Ah, that's
And
true.
Destiny was at that time riding more of a high.
That's true.
You know, they weren't so much, they weren't surrounded by controversy, and I believe it was before PlayStation stepped in and all these
Yeah.
things were happening internally. So like Destiny was kind of on a high at the time when people were, you know, because there is no denying the popularity of Destiny. It's kind of gone downhill now, like, you know, according to Steam charts, but there is no denying the impact that it has had and how much it shouldn't take away from the developers and what they did just because they're in controversies towards the end of the year, because Destiny has come a long way. You do have to give credit where it's due, I guess, but yeah, honestly, maybe it didn't deserve it this year.
Yeah, I think Destiny, I will always have a soft spot in my heart for that game because I've spent hours upon hours upon hours playing it. But it just, throughout the year seeing the little things, them talking about the difficulty that they're having coming up with ritual armor every season, but they're going to throw us paid cosmetic armor every single freaking season without fail, multiple sets of it, but you have issues coming up with sets of ritual armor that we can earn for free. Like, that type of shit was starting to piss me off. I still played the shit out of the game and I still had a lot of fun, and I I don't regret any of that, but seeing that little stuff like that made me mad. It's like, all this paid armor looks fucking sick, but that's not what I like. That's not why I fell in love with Destiny. Was just I like grinding out shit to get the armor. So I like, I paid for a couple cosmetics in that game. I had a couple things for like a couple of my weapons and stuff that I used all the time, specifically that the last word, probably my favorite gun in all of that game that I used more than any other one. I had a couple skins for that I purchased that I really liked, but that's about as far as it went for me.
Right, and people would like, probably if it was like a Fortnite model where like Destiny was actually free to play, then you
Mhm.
would probably be more inclined to buy the skins. And I'm not opposed to
Yep.
having a shop in your store and charging $20 for a skin and this and that, but Destiny's free to play model is a joke. It's
Yep.
not, that is not a free game, and they're fooling thousands of people that are hopping in thinking that they can get any kind of experience for free. Like, yeah, it's more like
It's
a
free to
demo. You can try the mechanics and see how it plays, but you're going to be all by yourself, level capped, not being able to do any of the activities that everyone else is doing. It's just, and
and
another, sorry to segue into something else about Bungie, but I just read an article about the stipulations of the contract with Sony, and the long and short of it is if Bungie doesn't meet certain financial requirements or
yep.
profit requirements, Sony can actually absorb them completely. They won't be the separate entity that they are now in the contract that they're running. Sony has full rights to absorb all of their IP, their team, and everything. So it's getting a little scary at Bungie, and I, I really hope I'm gonna buy the next expansion just because I'm rooting. I decided. I don't care what controversies surrounding it.
Just the
Um,
support.
I just want to see Bungie not get enveloped and turned into something, you know,
Completely
like a
different.
hollow shell. I hope they wake up on this one. It's their last shot, basically. So, if this doesn't do well, this might be the end of Bungie.
Yep. And that's scary to think about because Bungie's made killer games for a long time. So,
It's really sad. They hold a really soft spot in my heart, that's for sure.
yeah.
I love Bungie, and you know they've been a huge part of the industry for a long time. So it would be really sad for something that was so successful like Destiny 2 end up being the ultimate end of them.
Right. No shit.
Yeah, it'd be sad to see.
Sorry for the tangent.
Oh no,
there.
no, you're okay. That's something I was actually going to talk about too, so that's perfectly fine. We'll jump right back into the list here. I got best independent game was Sea of Stars. Best debut indie game was Cocoon. I didn't play either of those. Best mobile game, Honkai Star Rail. No idea what that game is.
Hokai Star Rail.
Okay, you know what it is. You know what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's a fun game.
Okay.
It's
That's a
good.
really fun
It's
game.
like, to its defense, it's a piece of shit gotcha game, but like if
Yeah.
you can like, if you're an adult and you can separate yourself from the casino mechanics, like I do not like, and I used to talk about Genshin Impact as like my guilty little pleasure. I don't play it anymore, but I loved the game, but I would never recommend it to anybody because I don't know if they struggle with gambling addiction or if they're just, there's a lot of people that play video games that get FOMO and feel like that they have to buy every single skin and this and that. And it's a very, very predatory game. Honkai Star, it's the same developer, Hoyoverse. It's a nasty gotcha game, but it's fun. It's like a turn-based. It was aimed right at people like me. Like they wanted my money, and I gave them a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I did. I gave them some. I gave them some money. I pulled some wishes, if you know what I mean. I swiped. But if you're an adult and you can, have, in my opinion, if you can separate yourself from that and not get too obsessed with these games and buying anime chicks and stuff, you're fine. There is fun to be had there, and these games are for adults. But don't get addicted, people. Don't get addicted.
Okay. That good words of advice. Good words of advice there. Best VR AR game went to Resident Evil Village VR mode. Which doesn't surprise me. Let's
go.
Dope. Best action game, Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon. No surprise there.
That's what I should play, honestly. I have not played that. What am I doing? What the fuck am I doing?
Best action adventure game went to Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Best RPG went to Baldur's Gate 3.
Woo!
Hey.
Best fighting game went to Street Fighter 6.
I knew it, dude. I knew it. That game.
Yep.
That game deserves it. I don't know if you guys have watched any gameplay, but it's like, even if you're sorry to keep going on these tangents,
no,
but
you're okay.
You're just bringing up some great games here. It's one of those games where you can watch it and not know anything about the game, but you can be very entertained by just randomly you know exactly what's going on in a Street Fighter game. You know what I mean? It's very fun to watch on Twitch.
Yeah, no, it's been Street Fighter 6 is it's a great time to watch, especially to people who know what they're doing.
Oh yeah. The pros, man.
Yeah, it gets really crazy. But I prefer Smash Bros, and I always will. It's not a super crazy fighting game like fucking Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, but Smash Bros does have its own fucking skill curve if you play it long enough and you play without items and you're just relying on the characters and their
You're not
abilities.
giving it enough credit. It's actually the longest running, the original one on GameCube. It's still played in tournaments to this day.
Oh yeah, they still do the tournaments and shit, but like I've seen some people try to be like, that game's. They're like, I know
they're
that's
fucking wrong.
I know what I 100% agree with you. Believe me, I've been a huge Smash Bros fan for years. I love those games, very much so.
Don't go to a tournament though.
That shit's rough. That shit's rough.
Well, no, I was gonna say some of the literal sweatiest people in the world, like smelly people. A guy did a documentary about Smash tournaments, and he said that the Smash community, this is a real thing, I'm not making this up. The Smash community smells so bad that there's people with backpacks handing out deodorant and shit because they're known to just stink. So if you ever go to a convention that I'm serious, this is a real thing in this community. Look it up. Look it up on
That's
YouTube.
terrible.
Blink. Glink, Glink, Glink. He does documentaries at conventions and stuff, and it's a whole documentary about the Smash community and how bad they smell. It's fucking hilarious.
It's
God.
crazy. I've been to Magic tournaments, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Lucky just
same.
popped in chat and said same for Magic the Gathering.
Oh, that's funny.
I live above. I
have
clean a
the
commercial
fucking-
space at Orion's place here in town where they hold the D&D stuff. I clean that space, and when I have to go in there, oh my god, dude, it lingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's I have a hard time.
bro.
I have a hard time going to the comic book shop because of that type of shit. Because they have those tournaments all the time, and it's just like, ugh.
The smelly people are there.
No.
Smelly people are there.
The best
Sad part is
I don't know what it is, man. Those communities just don't like shower or like deo frequently. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I still think the worst smell was when I went to a Magic the Gathering tournament in San Francisco. That was probably
yeah.
the absolute
I
worst.
mean, you're talking
I
about
went to a
San Francisco
pre-release.
mixed with that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I forgot what set it was for, but I went to a pre-release for Magic the Gathering, and so there's like a few hundred people, and it was great.
Nice and
Oh,
sour,
God,
I bet,
good.
man. That's
Yeah.
that pungent sour fucking.
Yeah.
Gross.
Good time, but
Back
it
to
was smelly time.
All right.
I'm highly offended by body odors, especially when I work alongside someone that smells bad. I'm like, oh my god, what is wrong with you? Like, take care of yourself.
Yeah, and
What were you doing?
the worst part is like half the time they get used to it and they can't smell it.
Yep.
And that's just is, and then like they don't realize, like, I like to remind myself consistently that I might not be able to smell myself, but whatever I can't smell, someone around me can smell 10 times more than what I can smell. So I remind myself of that all the time. And being a fat guy with slots underneath my boobs, I need to make sure that there is no sweat coming from my body.
Well, ironically, that you say that, like, you know, larger people actually smell better than a lot of people that I meet. Like, there's, you know, like the larger ladies that I work with, they're covered in perfume. They smell really nice. It's always just like this skinny, lanky fucking weirdos
It's
that
because
smell
us
the worst.
it's because
honestly.
us larger folks are consistently
Yeah.
sweating, so we're constantly worried about smelling like that sweat. Okay?
Right,
That's
right,
just
right.
the way it is. I know from personal experience that is how it is. The only time that I do not shower, and that's every once in a while, is on a rare Sunday morning when I'm not going anywhere and I know I'm not, and I don't plan on leaving the house the entire day and no one's coming over. And then I won't shower. And I don't even stink that bad, and I know that for a fact.
But
I
I kind
don't-
of do a lazy day every once in a while, man.
Dude, I don't leave the house without showering. I never leave the house without showering. That's just the way it is.
I mean, I've had some like, yeah, like my longest stream. Like, there's something about being on camera for like 14 hours straight, and like
Yeah.
being in front of like 100 people that you just got hosted. Like some body odors start to come off of you, to say the least. And
You start
so
getting
yeah,
fucking
I've
inside
definitely
to
let
the
myself
camera.
go to a certain point. That's for sure.
And then we'll hop back into the Game Awards list. The best family game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. No surprise there. That game's pretty fun, honestly. Best sim strategy, went to Pikmin 4. I have not played that, but looks dope. Best sports racing went to Forza Motorsport. I've been playing the shit out of Forza. I love that game.
Yeah, I gotta try that still.
It's a ton of fun. I like the way they changed it up this year where you choose a series, you buy one car, you get really familiar with that one car, you level it up. It's, if the driving feels great. So best multiplayer went to Baldur's Gate 3. Best adaptation went to The Last of Us.
Nice.
Most anticipated game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I think is what that is, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah.
Content creator of the year was Iron Mouse. I'll have to check her
Do
out.
not know who the. Yeah,
Yep.
I do
I
not.
love Iron Mouse. She's so
Okay, it's a
freaking
she.
funny.
Okay, it's a she. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
she's a
it was that. It
VTuber.
was that anime. Yeah. Okay, I remember now.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
love
will
her.
have to check her out. I don't even know who she is.
She plays a lot of Fortnite and Valorant and a lot of
Honestly,
games like that. She's really good.
That's cool.
the only person on this list that I know is Cypher PK, and I
Yeah.
just recently watched a video of Cypher blowing up the corner of Ninja's house in Fortnite Legoland, and it was fucking hilarious. Tim,
Yeah, I watch a lot of Cypher and a lot of Ninja and Tim the Tatman and stuff. They're so hilarious when they all play together,
Dude,
honestly.
Dude, watching Tim the Tatman do Fortnite's Only Up had me laughing so hard I had tears coming out of my eyes, dude.
Literally, it's so funny.
Tim, when he starts screaming, I don't know what it is, but that guy's scream makes me it sends me, dude. Every time I hear that guy scream, I want to laugh so hard, dude.
It's because it's genuine, dude. Like, I used to watch him back in the early days, like even like the Justin TV. He was like one of the very first streamers ever. But I think the appeal of Tim the Tatman is like everything, all his reactions are just so genuine, and he's actually just a funny person, just naturally.
Yeah, his screams and the way he reacts to shit always cracks me up. And like, I love watching him. Like, some of my favorite videos of him are just him watching Warzone players. Like, he'll go into a match, drop, and let himself die right in the beginning, and just watch
Yeah,
watch
those
the
are funny.
players. Yeah, those are always good.
I think the funniest squad is probably Tim, Ninja, Lupo, and Courage. Like when you get those four together, it's so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching Dr. Disrespect as well. He cracks me
Yeah,
up.
I'm a big Doc fan.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, man. Like I just love the whole persona. Like people that haven't watched Dr. Disrespect, they think that he takes himself like
Super
actually
serious.
takes himself seriously. They don't realize it's just a persona, but holy
Yeah.
fuck, that guy is hilarious.
You
man.
know you're talking to the
He's one of my favorites.
Fucking that guy's so
He's got the best production.
And
Yeah.
dude, the production level, man,
Best
it's
scenes,
fucking
like-
insane, and it's so
Yeah.
funny, like how like the whole audience just like plays into the persona, and they're like,
Yep.
if there's 30,000 viewers, they're like, oh, there's 30 million viewers in the stadium today, dog.
Yep.
Like they just overplay. It's just so exaggerated
Yeah, I know.
and so hilarious. I love it. I love that culture.
I actually
everyone buys into it.
I actually felt really bad for him. I'm sure everybody's seen that clip of him on stream and his house being shot at while he was on stream.
Yeah, that was nuts,
dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. I still want to know why he got banned on Twitch. No one ever really clarified that.
Yeah,
I thought it was because of he like forgot to mute and like went pee.
I know that there was a
Oh
lot of
my
speculation,
God.
but he never came forward. And the last thing I heard him say about it is that he was pressing charges, but he never came forward and went into detail about it. And I'm pretty sure it's still a mystery as to why he got banned.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though. That's what I think.
Whatever, that guy's got. That guy doesn't need it. He can just stream to YouTube. He'll be all right. He'd be all right.
Yeah, he's doing fine, but like it genuinely took a blow to him. You know what I mean? And he came forward and said that he was like the king of Twitch, dude. So like it's kind of weird to just shit on the face of Twitch essentially.
Yeah,
he was at every Game Awards ceremony. He was representing Twitch. It was just he got treated really poorly. So I really want to know what their reason was to give him a perma ban like that. That's crazy. There's been some
and some of the
nutty shit happen on
Twitch. It's crazy.
Yeah, like some of the people that get to come back after some of the shit that they do, like what was it that he did that they justified
so bad?
That? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's pulling in mad views still, like he's doing fine, but it's just really sad to see because a lot of people like me, we're just like we're Twitch trolls. That's where I go first to like watch things if I can. I'm on YouTube. Don't get me wrong. Like I watch a shit ton of YouTube, but I don't know. There's just a different culture on Twitch as a viewer for sure.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that interaction. I like seeing the chat. It's just I've been on Twitch since the beginning, so I just love that shit.
I agree with you.
The emotes, the emotes are different. It's just different.
And then best esports game. We're gonna hop right back into the list. Best esports game went to Valorant. No surprise there.
Nice.
Best esports athlete went to Lee Faker. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. So we're just going to call him the
Of course,
Faker.
Faker.
Yep, Faker.
Yeah, Faker he's a huge League of Legends player.
Okay, so that's awesome.
Okay,
I'm sure
nice.
Lutzy knows all about the Faker then. If he's still in the chat.
Probably. Faker's
let's-
big name.
Oh yeah. Best esports team went to JD Gaming. Best esports coach went to Christine Potter Chi, and I don't know if you guys seen I mentioned this in an earlier podcast, but there is that little bit of drama. XTQZ posted on Twitter after he was nominated. He's like, I haven't been an esports coach at all this year. You guys need to take me off this list. So that was
I remember seeing that.
That was there's a little bit of drama there, but he didn't even. If he would have won, it would have been really funny. That would have been really funny.
He's like, I guess I'll take this award.
Yeah. Best esports event, 2023 League of Legends World event. That's awesome for them. I'm a fan of League of Legends. I just don't play it because the culture around League is really toxic, and I hate trying to get into that game as a new player because people are just shitty.
Facts.
And then there was the game, all the announcements at the Game Awards. We had quite a few. Let's see. I'm trying to find this list here. Here we go. Okay, so we got that Baldur's Gate 3 drop, which was a huge thing for Xbox. So now Xbox players
Go play it.
If you have an Xbox, definitely go play it. I'm going to be waiting because I cannot afford to buy it right now until all my Christmas shopping is done. So,
wait until you have like 500 hours available too, because you're going to need it.
You're going to get lost in the sauce, bro.
I mean, we shall see. I was having this conversation. I'm definitely going to try it. I will pick it up at some point. I am just a little nervous though, because I do kind of have a hard time with turn-based games. So.
Stream it. I'll backseat you.
We'll
get through this together. Yeah, we'll make it through this together, bro. We'll get you through. We'll show you we'll show you what it has to offer. We'll hold your hand.
That doesn't necessarily make me feel all that much better, but all right.
We tried.
It is what
it's nothing against those games, and it's nothing against Baldur's Gate. It's a fantastic game. Everything I've watched, the story looks great. I have a hard time with the turn-based and walking around and just talking.
Trust me, it's so much more than that. It's like
the story seems interesting, but if I'm not like consistently doing more than that to keep myself like
trust me,
intrigued
just
in it,
play it first and then we'll talk. That's all I have to say, because I was in the same boat. I didn't know who Larian Studios was. I mean, granted, I'm fine with turn-based, but like it's not even like in my head when I play this game, like I don't even think turn-based game. I think CRPG. It's such a different level of I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince you, but just play it.
Well,
you'll see.
As someone who is not a fan,
hours recorded of you trying to convince him. It's okay, Joe.
As someone who is not a fan of Final Fantasy and has not played a single Final Fantasy game,
it's nothing like Final Fantasy,
or
absolutely not,
or
zero
any
like
other
Final
turn-based
Fantasy.
game. Really, it's gonna be a difficult one for me, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
Like I said with the whole, I made a video about the turn-based argument, and I won't go too much into detail about it, but it's like 15% of the overall experience of the game. So, and like I said in my video, it's to put every turn-based game into the same bucket, if you will, or the same bubble. Every turn-based game I played has a different spin on it anyway. So there's some turn-based games that I hate, but I love the story because every turn-based system isn't the same either. And this spin on it, like how you can interact with the world while it's so anyway, it's a once in a generation type of game. Go play it.
It's on the list. It's
oh yeah.
It's on the list. It's down there a little ways.
I know it's easy to like, have, be scared to try this sort of game, but it's literally the thing that you're telling me that you're scared about trying it for is like it's such a small part of the game. I think you might actually like it.
Word, I just don't want to spend $70 on it to not play it.
I get that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm waiting for a little while before I go out and purchase it.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying go pull the trigger today. Like play it when you want to play it, but yeah, definitely give it a try. It's one of those games that it's such a rarity, and it's such an appreciation, and you'll notice it right off the get-go, just the extreme detail and how much they took the player into account, and you just feel loved when you play that game. It's hard to explain. Anyway, moving on.
Next.
So we'll just jump right into all the announcements that happened. Capcom announced that Monster Hunter Wilds is coming 2025. Big deal for the Monster Hunter fans out there. Again, another game that I never really got into, but super dope. Looking game. I just never really got into them. I tried playing. I forget which one it was, but I tried playing one of them, and I just wasn't for me.
They're good games. I actually I didn't play the newest one, but I played the one before, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was great.
Yeah. Like I said, nothing against them at all. They just weren't for me. The next one, Hideo Kojima officially reveals the Xbox project,
Yes.
OD. From everything I heard, this game is supposed to harness the cloud. It's supposed to use a lot of Microsoft's cloud infrastructure that they've set up for gaming. So be interesting to see what this game is. Looks like a horror game. So
They said it's going to be like a horror movie
okay,
game. And
interesting.
it's being produced by Jordan Peele too. When that was announced, I
Huge
screamed.
collab.
Yeah,
So
I was
excited.
pretty stoked by that. I'm a Kojima fan myself, so
Hell
I'm
yeah.
excited to see what he's going to put into this.
The game features OD also features Sophia Lillis, Hunter Schafer, and Udo Kier, and it's being touted as much more than a game. So, yeah, that's just a little clip it there from this article I'm reading.
Dude, Kojima has always thought outside the box. He's never considered a lot of his video games to be just games. They're like an interactive experience. It's fucking. He's a weirdo, and his last game wasn't received as well as he probably even expected. But you have to
Death
give credit
Stranding.
where it's due. He definitely tries to innovate.
Death Stranding,
to
right?
say the least. Yeah, Death Stranding. Sorry, yeah.
No, I saw a lot of good things about it, but yeah, definitely some mixed reviews in there. I never got to play it, but
Yeah, a lot of people were just like, "Oh, walking simulator, you're like a mailman, blah blah blah." But I played it, and it was definitely a different. It was definitely a new mechanic and a new spin. It like from the outside looking in, I can definitely see how people would see that when you're just seeing someone. But like, there's so much happening while you're running through this field and like trying to balance your character. You just don't see it when you're viewing it. So it's one of those games where you have to play it to understand what's actually going on.
Word. The next thing that was announced was a free God of War Ragnarok DLC. So
Yes.
yeah, that's pretty dope.
yeah.
When's the last time you guys heard about free DLC? Like, holy shit! Like, it's like
Right.
we're
Yeah,
trending in the
literally
right
never.
direction. Like, this has been a great year.
The next announcement after that, something I was pretty excited for, Marvel's Blade is in development.
Blade,
So
yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic,
dope.
but I'm excited because I love Blade. So that'll be interesting to see what they do. It's supposed to be a third person, single player, mature game. Is in the heart of Paris is what the description is. So we'll have to see what
Better
they
be
do with that.
bloody, dude.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
better let
want.
me fucking chop off arms and heads and shit.
Yep, that's what I want as well.
Yeah, I want dismemberment. I want dope ass outfits. I want like maybe not open world, but I want to like look around the town.
Right. I want it to be like explorable, but I don't know. I cover this a lot in probably every video so far, but
Yeah.
I have an open world burnout right now, and it seems like games are just open world for the marketing factor of saying that they're open world and you can go to all these places, but all the places you go to literally don't have anything in them.
Yep.
Starfield. Just kidding.
The next
Anyway.
announcement was Sega. They are redoing 5 games: Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe,
Dude, I'm
Streets
so
of
hyped
Rage,
for Jet
and
Set, oh my
Crazy
God.
Taxi. I'm pretty excited for Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, dude, that was my
There's no
Yeah,
childhood.
that'd be
Taxi.
sick.
And Jet Set. Have you guys ever played Jet Set?
No.
It sounds
dude, it's so
I'd have to
good. I
check
played
it
it
out.
on PS2. It's so overdue to get oh my God, it's so good.
The other announcement that was kind of big was the finals is finally out for everyone. To play on PC. I think it's going to be
Did you
coming.
try that,
Oh,
Chow?
cool.
Yeah, I did. I played it for a little bit. If they made some slight changes to it, I would probably get into it.
It looked kind of interesting. I watched you for a little bit. I think I was editing or something while I was watching you, but
yeah,
it looked kind of interesting.
I mean, it's got the destructibility there, Battlefield, and I can feel where they were trying to go with it, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't feel quite right to me. I don't like it. I don't like the way it was feeling. Like, it felt a little too Overwatchy, if that makes sense. Like, just like the words that were coming up on the screen, like when you would kill someone, just reminded me of the text from Overwatch. And like, I don't know, it was something about it I just didn't quite feel right. It felt like Overwatch with destruction and trying to be real guns. And I didn't like that the main assault rifle just felt like you were farting on whoever you were shooting at. Like, there didn't feel like you were really doing a whole lot of damage. I mean, I'm sure it's probably changed a little bit since I played it, because that was just I think that was like a closed beta, but it just it definitely, I don't know, it felt a little strange. Maybe if I sat down and played it for longer, I would probably find myself getting into it, but
It looked a little generic too, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, that's a good word to describe that. Generic. No Man's Sky developer Hello Games, they showed off Light No Fire, another DLC coming to No Man's Sky for free. Those guys have been killing it over there. They drop a shitload of stuff.
And it's all free. It's all been
Yep.
like essentially free since all the controversy in the very beginning. So yeah, that's crazy how far that game has come, like from all the controversy that was surrounding it in the beginning.
Yeah. I think this next DLC will definitely be an interesting one. It's supposed to have dragon riding, building, supposed to have huge mountains, all kinds of stuff. And then the Final Fantasy 16 DLC was announced. Echoes of the Fallen and the Rising Tide. So for those Final Fantasy fans out there, big exciting news there.
I'm holding out buying a PlayStation, but I'm really considering it just so I can play some of these games and not have to wait a year for them to come to PC. But
Yeah.
I'm trying not to buy into FOMO. That's kind of been like my mantra, is not giving into gaming FOMO. Like, the games aren't going anywhere, so just because I'm experiencing, getting the experience later doesn't mean it's gonna change my opinion on the game. So I'll probably just wait. But goddamn, sometimes it's tempting.
I'm planning on getting a PS5 as soon as I can, just because I do like to play games off a console. It's just kind of my thing. So that's something I plan on getting eventually. And this Rise of the Ronin game looks like something right up my alley. That game looks sick as hell.
Hell yeah, dude, it looks dope.
And then we just had a good laugh about this last podcast, and I'm sure we're about to have another good laugh. Let's see if it actually make it. Skull and Bones got another release date.
Woo!
Oh my
I think this
God.
is like the 6th one they've gotten in like 8 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we brought it up. Yeah, we did bring it up in the last pod, or I said something about this being like the eighth time it's been shown, and so this will be like the 9th time it's been shown and presented. And oh my God, dude, what was it, back in like 2017 that we first saw a glimpse of it?
Yep. I mean, I figure at this point they would have just scrapped it and moved on, but Jesus criminy, I guess not.
Well, technically it was like scrapped, and it's traded hands, I guess, a lot between a lot of different people, and it's probably not at all the same vision as it originally was. It looks like they're kind of just ripping off Sea of Thieves in a way is kind of what I picked up on. Is it looks very much like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Um, for the fans of Life is Strange, Lost Records Bloom in Rage is the next game from the creator Don't Nod. I think that's how you say that. Don't Nod. I know personally that my girlfriend was a huge fan of Life is Strange, the first one, so I know this game had a decent amount of people that were pretty crazy about it when it first came out. So pretty exciting to see those guys working on a new project that's not Life is Strange related. I like to see some fresh IP. So that's pretty dope. Um I'm going to be honest, I think my most favorite announcement though out of all of the game awards was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
That looked pretty sick, honestly.
Okay, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, and the fact that we're getting another
too.
game that's supposed to be a Budokai Tenkaichi spiritual successor is everything that I need. Everything that I need. I want to play the shit out of this game. I'm so excited. And it looks like they got all the dope characters from Dragon Ball Super. They got the new version of fucking what's his face's, I can't ever remember his name. Fucking Goku's brother. They got fucking Beerus in there. They got I'm so excited. I'm so fucking excited to play that game. So that'll be excellent.
Super stoked.
Fortnite Rocket Racing gets a new trailer. It came out the day after the Game Awards, so if you haven't tried that by now, go ahead and jump in and try it. It looks pretty sick. Fortnite's doing all kinds of crazy shit right now. Another game that actually caught my attention, kind of, was No Rest for the Wicked, being developed by Moon Studios, the developer behind Ori and the Ori games.
Have you guys ever played those Ori games before?
I haven't.
Ori,
Dude, they're so underrated. They're literally both in probably my top 10. They're my wife's favorite games, and I'm not sure how, I mean, I get that they're like a 2D platformer, but it is easily one of the best that I've played just from the design and the fluidness. Yeah, I don't know why Microsoft doesn't push that intellectual property more because it's so fucking good.
yeah, both of those Ori games are incredibly good. And to see that these guys are going to be making a Diablo-like ARPG has me pretty stoked. The game looks
I'm
sick.
very interested because
It-
the story of the Ori games is very interesting. It's actually made by different studios. The Ori games were just made in a collaboration of like something like I think don't quote me on this, but 30 different studios all had like a collaboration on it, and it was just such a passion product. So if you, I know that they're kind of old now, but if you haven't played the Ori games and you just want to try something new, get on Game Pass and fucking play those games. They're so good. I play them at least once a year.
They're super good. And this No Rest for the Wicked, it looked bloody. It looked like the fighting was interesting. I'm pretty excited to check that out.
Yeah, it's nice to see like a stark contrast from like what some studio like Guerrilla Games when they went from I don't remember what they were. It was like a shooter game. I can't remember the name now, but then they went on to make Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what I mean? So it's nice to see when these developers are given the option to move on to something totally different because I'm very excited to see what they're going to put out.
Yep. Another cool announcement. A team of ex-BioWare developers have revealed their new sci-fi RPG called Exodus. It's in development at Archetype Entertainment. The trailer revealed that players will take the role of the traveler exploring the universe while avoiding enemies known as the Celestials. So that's pretty interesting. I not a huge fan of if I remember correctly, BioWare did um the Mass Effect games, if I'm correct.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Awesome games.
Yeah. I played most of the first one. The story's super awesome. I never played 2 and 3. But if it's, you know, some old school devs from BioWare, the people who made like the original Mass Effect, that could be, you know, this could be a really interesting game. It sounds like it's right up their alley,
Yeah, I
a
would definitely.
sci-fi RPG.
Yeah, I would definitely say be on the lookout for that game from because I believe it does have some of those ties.
Okay, that's awesome. So yeah, if you're a Mass Effect fan, that'll be something to watch out for. A weird game reveal was called The Big Walk. That's the next game from the Untitled Goose Game developer. Um, Kind of a strange looking game. I'm not gonna lie. Some weird stuff going on there, but
Yeah,
they
honestly, it'll probably be fine, but I was kind of like I played Untitled Goose Game and it was a funny game. I think that game just kind of like uh, I don't know, it was kind of an anomaly in my opinion. It was a funny, goofy game, but I didn't get the hype of that initially. So I think they're kind of just riding the coattails of being the developers of that game, and I'm
Mhm.
not really buying into it, honestly.
I've noticed a lot more. I noticed that kids play Untitled Goose Game more than anybody else I know. Like, I've seen so many kids I know running around as a goose, just fucking with people. Every time I go over to a buddy's house who's got a kid there playing that game, I see, for a little while at least, there's like a small amount of time there where everybody was playing that shit.
Yeah, in like 2018 it was really really popular, I think. But
Yeah.
I mean it was a goofy, funny game, but in I gave it credit because it's a really small indie studio,
hmm
but yeah, I don't know. It's nothing to write home about.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you. The next announcement was, um, so I'm gonna try to pronounce this. It's called Kimuri, and it's the first game Nakamura's from Ikumi Nakamura's new studio, Unseen. Sorry if I butchered that. Um it's looks like it's supposed to be an action game. Definitely looks a little bit like it might catch my attention for a little bit. I don't know. Like I'll definitely try it. It's kind of like it kind of gave me the same kind of vibe when I first seen Sifu on PS5. Like when they first announced Sifu, I was like, I'll try it, but it's not something I'm like dying to go after. So, um, but interesting art style. I do like the way it looks. Just at a glance. Um, the next one was a Dead by Daylight spinoff. The casting of Frank Stone, don't know too much about that, but definitely looked interesting to say the least. So let's see here. Oh, my computer's being kind of dumb. Give me just a second. Okay, you were not supposed to start doing that. Thank you. And then also sweet ass reveal for Jurassic Park Survival. I thought that looked pretty interesting. I love Jurassic Park, so definitely want to check that out. I'm not a huge survival game person, but I'll definitely check it out just because it'd be kind of fun to run around
Cautiously
somewhere.
I haven't.
optimistic.
Yeah, I've been actually a little confused because if I'm not mistaken, there's like two survival dinosaur games, like
Um,
survival horror. Because this one seems like Jurassic Park, and then the other one just seems like dinosaurs and craziness, and actually more like horror themed.
See, and I don't know. I this is the first time I've even heard of this Jurassic Park game. I'm not usually like a person to go after
Well, there
games that.
is there is another Jurassic Park game, but I think it's like it might be on console, but it's like kind of along the lines of like Cities and Skylines, but it's like a Jurassic Park themed
Yeah, they have
park that you have to run.
the park the Jurassic Park game where you can like you like manage your own park and like build your own park and have dinosaurs in there and you can go in there and like tranquilize them and like
Death
do
Ground.
stuff. Yeah. But I
Death Ground is what it's called.
Oh, Death Ground? Oh yeah, see, I never even heard of that. So that's
I got to double check to make sure the premise and all that was correct, but that actually seemed like a horror type dinosaur game. And then I saw that trailer for the Jurassic Park one, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Either way, I'm excited. It looks pretty good.
yeah, no, I'm been a Jurassic Park fan my entire life. So The movies anyway. Like I'm not crazy about dinosaurs or anything, but I do love the Jurassic Park movies, and it just watching that little scene in the trailer where she ran into the kitchen and was like hiding in the kitchen. I was like, kind of made me a little nostalgic. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Like if they got that stuff in there, it'd be kind of cool to run around inside that building. So, um, then the next reveal was Visions of Mana, revealed by Square Enix. Um, Visions of Mana is a brand new game in the Mana series set to release on PS5, PS4, Series X and S, and PC next year. So, don't know too much about the Mana series or any of those games, but awesome for the fans who do know what that is. I'm sure there's a couple other games.
They are absolutely great games,
Okay.
and I'm glad to see that it's alive, alive still, because that was one of the franchises I was talking about that they should really, really be pushing these days.
Sick. Well, I'm glad that someone knows about that game because I definitely do not.
Joe plays all the games.
Blaze away.
The next reveal was Hellblade: Senua's Saga. They got like a lengthy musical performance and trailer. There was supposedly a little bit of combat in that trailer. I have not watched it yet. I don't know exactly what people's thoughts were on that, but I know that a lot of people have been bitching and moaning to see combat.
Did
in
you
this
guys
game.
play the first game at all?
I didn't play it, but I watched. I know I watched someone play through most of it, and I remember you talking about it a lot, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good game, but you really have to know what you're getting into. It's not at all actiony. Like, I don't know if they're totally changing the genre of the game. I did see a lot of combat. I don't know if they're going for mass appeal on this one, and it would be kind of a shame because it would really take away what the first one was, because it was 99% a puzzle game and about this mental game that you're playing essentially with voices in your head, and it's just I don't know. I hope Xbox doesn't ruin it, because it was a real gem before, and if they're just going for mass appeal because they bought the IP, I'm going to be a little disappointed because I really liked the first one. So we'll see, I guess.
For sure. I did hear a little controversy. This is just a rumor I heard, but apparently there will be an option to play Hellblade 2 in a filmic mode, to play it in, I think they said 24 frames per second, which is crazy to think about, but they
Say that again, Chow. Sorry, you were cutting out for me.
Apparently the rumor is that there will be a filmic mode available for Senua's Saga 2, so you can play it at 24 frames per second, which is what they shoot movies in. That's what I said too, but I mean, I don't know why they would put that in there unless they want it to be more of something to watch than to play. So I'm hoping that maybe they stuck with that what you were talking about, more of the, the mental game and having all the interactive sounds in your headset and all the stuff. So maybe it's
I hope
to
it's
be
not
more...
just an optimization issue and they're just like marketing it as something good because they couldn't get their game to run at a decent frame rate. That sounds more likely to me, but hopefully that's not the fucking case.
No, they did say there was more modes than that. They're just saying they're including the filmic mode. That's just a rumor I've heard.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm interested about that one. I don't know who's going to use that, because for me, and this sounds like a PC snob thing, but when you play games at like 165 frames per second and then you go to 30, like 60 is fine, but I can see it. I can see a fucking difference between 165 and 60 for sure. But when you go from 165 down to 30, it's jarring as fuck, and it takes like an hour for me to really, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, they were just talking about that because they were talking about the fact that most movies are shot in 24 frames per second.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
That's why everybody thought The Hobbit looked so weird, is because The Hobbit was one of the first movies that was shot in a 60 frames per second, with a 60 frames per second camera. So
I think, to be more exact, it was like 48 or some.
Was it 40? Okay.
Some weird number like that. It was somewhere between 30 and 60, and nobody liked it.
I personally enjoy those movies, but it does look a little strange if you've been watching.
Oh no,
other
I like the
movies.
movies. I love the movies. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. It's just the frame rate kind of
Yeah.
was jarring. Just like that Spider-Verse movie.
Mhm.
Did you guys see that animated Spider-Verse movie where it's like shot in like 15 frames per second in some sequences, and it just seems like a fucking slideshow. I couldn't handle that.
Oh,
Yeah,
weird.
it is strange looking. So Joseph Fares' Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is getting a remake. I don't know a lot about this game, but definitely, I mean, it looks interesting. Joseph Fares is the creative lead on co-op games like It Takes Two and A Way Out, and now his first big game is getting a remake, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. So, that should be interesting.
I played it. It was fine. It's just one of those really niche like indie experiences that
Okay.
isn't very long, but it's kind of like a feel good type of game. It won't appeal to many people, honestly.
Okay. Sweet. Former Payday developer reveals Den of Wolves. 10 Chambers brought Den of Wolves to the Game Awards, which the Swedish developer describes as its techno thriller cooperative heist game. 10 Chambers told IGN Den of Wolves has been on the team's mind for a decade, inspired by our Payday roots. We're back on that heist shit. So, interesting. I'm not a huge fan of Payday. The games are, they're fun when you have friends to play with and stuff, but it's just never been my thing.
I think it was always why play that when GTA exists.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you can like do heists and shit
Yep.
anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Something Kyle was probably really excited for. Black Myth Wukong has a release date. August 20th, 2024. So that's
I'm
gonna
so
be
fucking excited.
It's gonna be releasing on Xbox Series X, PS5, and PC via Steam and Epic. So that will be pretty awesome. However, there's been a little bit of drama with the developer, Game Science, and they still haven't responded. Apparently, there's been some reports of sexism inside the development company. So I'm sure they're gonna have to put a big magnifying glass on that, and we'll all hear all about it pretty soon. As per
I didn't know
usual.
about that. That sucks.
Let's see. The next one was Tales of Kenzura. Zhao, I want to say, is coming. And oh yeah, I do remember seeing this. I did tune in just in time to see this. It's coming. It's a EA original showed off this game. It's a 2D side scroller coming from Surgent Studios. The game is out April 23rd. The studio founder and CEO, listen, I'm gonna fuck this name up, so I'm just gonna say his last name. CEO Salim said that the game will tackle the grieving process. I'm pretty sure also, if I remember correctly, the guy that was on the stage was also the voice actor for one of the Assassin's Creed Origins, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that was said when he came out onto the stage.
I don't know, man.
I'm
But
amazed at the things I do remember. So.
yeah, but the game, it's a 2D side scroller.
I retain the dumbest information, dude. Like stuff that doesn't. Yeah.
No, I get you. Palia is coming to Nintendo Switch next week. Cozy MMO Palia makes its debut on Nintendo Switch next week with a launch date of December 14th. I don't know much about it. Looks like an MMO. There's literally a picture of people fishing on a dock, so don't know much about that game, but that's cool that the Switch has got a MMO coming to it. That's pretty dope, actually.
I think when that game was released, it was received pretty well. So that's pretty cool for the Switch.
Word.
I never played it, but I think it was received pretty well.
The another announcement was the Outlast Trials is coming to consoles. Survival horror multiplayer game. The Outlast Trials is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One and PS4.
Finally.
March 5th. So that's pretty big.
Do we know if it's crossplay yet? Did they say?
No, we do not know.
Oh god, it has to be Crossplay. I love
You would
that
almost
game.
think with all that, maybe it's to come.
Maybe. I hope so,
Gotta
because
work out the
that would be
kinks.
so much fun.
Heck yeah. Another one was Rise of the Golden Idol. Rise of the Golden Idol, follow up to the indie hit The Case of the Golden Idol. It's coming to Steam, PS5, PS4, Xbox, and Switch. As Dusk Falls, coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5.
Oh,
The choice-based
nice.
game As Dusk Falls is getting released on PS4 and PS5 March 7th, 2024.
I'm about to
PS5,
start playing that game.
sweet. The PS5
Hell
version
yeah.
has haptic feedback, touchpad controls, and audio description accessibility on both the PS4 and PS5 versions. So,
Hell yeah.
interesting. What's this? Last Sentinel revealed from Lightspeed LA. Last Sentinel is a narrative-focused open-world game coming from Lightspeed Studios and Lightspeed LA. So, the narrative-based choice games I know have kind of made a big kind of a pulse there in popularity. I'm not huge on those, but I think it's great nonetheless. There's some great stories that are told that way. So Zenless Zone Zero is coming in 2024. Hoyo versus Zenless Zone Zero has a 2024 release window on PC and Mac.
Don't get addicted, kids.
Yeah, it sounds like a game that Joe was just warning us about, because literally the first picture I see here is
Anime tits.
anime tits and a gun. So that's what I see. Don't get addicted,
Look
kids.
out.
Yeah.
It'll get you.
Something I'm excited for. We got a date for Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, September 9th, 2024. I've been kind of watching this game off and on, what they talk about it anyway, for a while, and it definitely is something I'm excited to try out. It looks crazy, looks amazing. So
Can't wait for Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40K.
hell yeah. Mecha Break gets a flashy combat trailer. I did watch that. That looks kind of sick. Developer CSUN Games showed off a look at its multiplayer mech sci-fi game, Mecha Break, and well, multiplayer mech. I'll check it out. I'll definitely be wanting to check that out. The First Descendant gets a summer 2024 release window. The First Descendant showed off a third-person looter shooter combat is what we're looking at. So that's got my attention right off the bat. I love looter shooters. It's one of my favorite things ever. So if it's if it's at all halfway interesting, I would love to check it out. I was, go off on a little random tangent. I really hoped that Anthem was going to be like the next thing when that game came out forever ago, and they shit the bed with Anthem so hard. So,
of course they did.
It's really kind of sad because I've seen gameplay of Anthem and there was a lot of fucking potential there.
Yeah.
And it still
Yep.
surprises me to this day that, because there is still, granted it's a very small player base, but there's still people that see something there and still play it to this day, which kind of blows my mind. But I've seen gameplay and I haven't played it myself, but I've seen some people that were really into it in the early days and it looked pretty fucking cool, but they just didn't
Yep.
do it all the way right, man. It looked pretty awesome.
Yep. And it's because EA had its filthy hands in it.
Yep.
What else is new? And
Yeah.
that's funny that you say that because Lutzy was asking about a new skate game. Isn't that coming? And EA is probably going to ruin that too.
Oh, and that's the thing, is another one I'm cautiously optimistic on, is because it's so when this new skate game was announced, it was the original developers that made a video on YouTube and were like, okay guys, we get it, you want another skate game, we're working on it. And so they had started working on it, and it's now in a place right now where they're in alpha testing, and I am signed up for it to see if I could get into alpha testing. But they are in that point, and it's not called Skate 4, it's just called Skate. It's going to be free to play, and they're really trying to, what it sounds like, try to base the game around community built stuff.
Man, I hope it's good. There's so
so
much potential there. There's
yeah,
such an outcry for that
Oh,
game.
big
yeah, and
time.
that's the thing is if they get the like what they really need to focus on is that Skate 3 feel, give it that good heavy feel, the physics, the mechanics, but obviously upgrade it, give us new features, new tricks that we can do, new ways that we can use the sticks, whatnot. And the idea of it being based around community built skating things isn't a bad thing in my opinion, because people
Yeah, that
come up
sounds
with great
great.
stuff, but they also need to make sure that they give us something good, like the proper tools to build with, and don't give us, give us a couple templates so we can start with something, and give us a good tool kit to build with, and people will come up with some great shit. And if you
Yeah,
want
that
it,
will make the community will make the game for them
yeah,
essentially.
exactly. And if they do that stuff right, and they just on the side, don't make it forceful in your face, don't put it up in your fucking face. Put a store on the side with a few things in it, some skins, whatever, what have you, cosmetic stuff only, and people will buy it as they want it. And you will make money off of it. That's just the way that shit works.
Right.
And they don't need to worry about it, like if they, and it doesn't need to be abhorrently expensive either, because it's just like a fucking deck for your skateboard, but still they would make some money off that, and people would go to town making maps, and that game could get a huge revival on its hands if they did it right. I've been following it for a while because I love Skate. I have Skate 3 downloaded on my Xbox right now. I still play it all the time. It's one of my favorite games. I definitely hope that they do right by the skate community and make a good game. That's something I've been nervous about for a while. So
Yeah, hopefully the industry, hopefully they're seeing the successes of games like Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 just being, or even Fortnite for that
mm-hmm.
matter. It does it right, and I say this all the time. Like I'm not into games having, these huge cash shops and shit, but if you're gonna do it, make your game free and just do it the Fortnite model. Like charge me $20 for skins or whatever you're gonna do, but just you know what I mean? Have some kind of moral compass here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't screw us here.
If EA can pull that off with Skate, I'm not gonna be mad about that. Like, go ahead and charge me whatever for some premium fucking skin for a skater skin or whatever. Like, charge me fucking $20 to be able to look like 2008 Rob Deerdeck when I'm skating around. I don't give a fuck. But give me a
Right,
good
right.
base game. Give me a good base
Yeah.
game.
I'm totally into that because for me, I'm not someone that gets FOMO over skins and has to buy new skins in games like that. Like Fortnite is something, or even Rocket League is another good example. But those are games that I can just jump into and not feel like I have to purchase something to have a good time. Like I don't have to buy the season pass. I
Mhm.
don't have to buy a new skin. And not to say that I haven't, but that's why the incentive is there for me. Like I feel like games like Fortnite have given me so much that I feel incentivized to actually support the developer, and I feel okay with paying $20 for a skin or
100%.
whatever the price is. You know what I mean?
100%.
So if they can do that, like you said, have just a great core game and make me just have fun while I'm playing the game and not make me feel like I need to pay money every month for a season pass or this or that to make sure that I'm having fun. I take my money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, shit. They could even put a season pass into a game like that, but don't make it so. Don't make it so.
Egregious. Don't make it
Yeah,
egregious.
exactly. There's room for that stuff to be there, and people will buy it. But if they follow like we all say all the time, Fortnite has done it the best. It's not egregious in your face, and you get value for what you pay for in that. Matter of fact, I just recently stopped paying for the Fortnite crew payment because it was $11 a month, and you got 1,000 V-Bucks every month with your subscription payment, and then you got the season pass for free every time as well, and then you got like a free skin every month. There was shit every month they were giving you, and it was like,
There's value there
yeah, it
essentially.
was like 10.99 a month, and you got all that stuff every time you paid the 10.99. And you, like I said, the 1,000 V-Bucks. I mean, after 2 months, you got enough to buy a dope ass skin from the store when it comes through. So it was, like Fortnite's done it really well. I hope that other companies can continue to do the same thing, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. There we go.
And not to mention, if you buy the battle pass in Fortnite and you continue to play Fortnite, you will accumulate enough V-Bucks through the season pass to buy the next season pass. So honestly, if you're an avid player and you buy it one time, you don't ever have to use real money again
Yep.
if you complete the season pass.
Yep.
It's true.
And that's how, like, it's kind of like a call to, like, in a way, like, even though you're paying for that, it's kind of just like a taste of like what it used to be. Like, you're actually playing the game to work towards something and getting rewarded, not just like buying it to fit in like a game like Destiny, for instance. Like, that's the only way to get cosmetics. But for Fortnite, you can buy the season pass, get cool shit along the way, and make V-Bucks to get the next season pass for $10 or whatever it is.
No, I 100% agree. So hopefully we'll just see. We'll just have to see what happens with Skate. We haven't seen, and speaking of which, we haven't seen any real good trailers. Like they dropped a trailer about a year ago, another one that you can find on YouTube and watch. And it's they got some gameplay in there, but you can tell it's very much alpha. Like they're just trying to let people know, the community know that they're working on it. Um, Definitely some new features though that I've seen, like there was a clip of someone hanging off of a ledge of a building inside of a skate world. So we could be getting some pretty awesome new features with the skate game, in the sense of being able to climb up the side of stuff and hang off of stuff. So who knows what they're going to put in, but I'm excited either way. Like I said, cautiously optimistic, but more on the excited side. I'm a skate fan.
Yeah, me too. I just want it to be good.
Back to the announcements real quick. We're getting near the end of this list. Exoborn was announced. It's an open world extraction shooter set in post-apocalyptic US. Shark Mob is the developer behind it. It's in development for both PC and consoles, and has both PvP and PvE elements. I'm gonna have to check that out a little bit more. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's got my name written all over it. Apocalyptic extraction shooter, PvE and PvP. That's got my name written all over it. I'm gonna have to do some more research into that. That's got me kind of excited. Then let's see. Oh, another one. Don't get addicted, kids. Guilty Gear Strive. I think is what it's called. No. Yeah, Guilty Gear Strive Efflet reveal trailer. Oh, another character. Yeah, anime chick with a mic. Just don't get addicted,
Is it
kids.
is it a gacha game? You mean like a mobile gacha game?
It kind of looks like it. It says is Guilty Gear Strive, new character reveal.
I don't know if that's a mobile game or not, but yeah, be careful if it's a gacha game for sure.
Yeah.
That those games are dangerous.
Let's see. Not much is said about this either. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. Looks kind of scary. Guy's got some glowing hands. I'll have to check out some more of that. I didn't finish the trailer. I didn't finish the Game Awards because it went late. I had to work, so I did not finish watching the Game Awards. I got to like 9 o'clock at night, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta go to bed because I gotta be up at 5 o'clock in the morning." So I did not get to finish watching all of these. A world premiere trailer, the first Berserker Kazan. I'm not sure if this is a flashy action game coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So, kind of looks like a Devil May Cry kind of vibes is going on here. So interesting. I was not a huge fan of Devil May Cry though. So, let's see, a supernatural action adventure, Unusual June revealed. Unusual June, a supernatural looking action adventure with a cell shaded art style. So yeah, it's definitely kind of cartoony looking, but the ghost behind in this picture I'm seeing kind of reminds me a little Ghostbuster vibe. Kind of gives me some Ghostbuster vibes, so that's kind of cool. Daniel Mullen's next game is Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. We got our first look at that. They got their first look at that game, which showed off creepy atmosphere. So it's supposed to be creepy. Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. That sounds kind of creepy. I don't know what it's about, but Yeah, I'm gonna let that trailer play for a second. Um, while I read these, and I'll go back up to it. Harmonium the musical. Um, looks like okay, musical narrative adventure coming to Xbox Game Pass. The game follows Melody Makato, an energetic 10-year-old Filipino American musician who became deaf at a young age. So, sounds like maybe it could be a very heartwarming story for those who are into
Yeah.
that stuff. I've never the
That one was actually the developer shared a lot of his journey on TikTok, and that's how he was able to get that game developed because it had gained such traction on TikTok,
Okay.
and it looks really good.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I'm watching this trailer for Pony Island 2 Panda Circus, first person puzzle game where you're like looking, it's this game is strange. It was first person and then it went to like this pixelated thing where you're like playing like a 2D like old school game and moving stuff around. Then, oh man, this game is strange. I'm just gonna be straight up. It's strange. Strange. Look out for that one. If you like weird stuff, this will be right up your alley. I don't even know what I'm watching right now.
Sounds like I'm gonna be playing it then.
Yeah, this game is, I'm not kidding. This is one of the strangest video game trailers I've ever watched in my entire life. I have no idea what's
Love it.
going on. I literally have no idea what's going on. And now we're back to first person and he's holding a bow and arrow. What is going on? I am so confused. Okay, I'm done watching that. That's got my brain going, dude. Dead Cell Studio Motion Twin reveals Windblown. Windblown is the next game from Motion Twin, a team behind the acclaimed 2D roguelike Dead Cells. Windblown has an emphasis on co-op gameplay with fast-paced action and a gorgeous anime-esque cutscenes. Motion Twin said it was craving a lightning-fast combat roguelike, but it didn't exist, so they started development on Windblown. So it sounds like this game is supposed to be very speedy, move around quickly roguelike game. So that should be cool to watch. I do like those kinds. I like watching those types of games. I just like all the colors and all the stuff happening. Indie dev Drool showed off Thrasher, which looks to be cut from the same cloth as their previous game, Thumper. Flashy colors, thumping music, and lots of action was shown off in the reveal trailer. It's coming to PC sometime next year. So, yeah, just from what I'm seeing here in this quick little trailer I'm watching, this game is very much shapes, colors, beats bouncing all over the place. So, if you're into that type of stuff. I'm not huge into the musical type of games, so I've never been one into the except for Guitar Hero. I fucking love Guitar Hero. And I did get to play Beat Saber for a little while. That was pretty sick. It's pretty sick. I don't have a VR headset, but Beat Saber was still pretty sick.
Hell yeah.
Um World of Goo 2. Um World of Goo, never played it. Physics-based puzzle game from 2008. So interesting. I do like puzzle games and I do like physics-based puzzle games, so I might have to actually check that out. But that's looking interesting as well. Kind of a weird art style, kind of unsettling if I'm gonna be honest. Ark Knights Enfield is coming to PlayStation 5. Action RPG tower defense game. So also anime chick. Don't get addicted, kids.
Well, I only say that like you can get addicted to anime chicks, that's fine, but just don't get addicted to the to the gotcha. Like what we
I
mean by
just
gotcha, it's an actual genre of mobile games where it's like not guaranteed to like get what you're wanting to buy sort of thing. So like for instance in Genshin Impact, if you want a character, it's only guaranteed after like 10 pulls, which is like $100. Like there's a pity system is what it's called. So every 95 pulls, you're guaranteed to get your character. So you could spend tons of and like to max out that character, you have to roll them 6 different times
it
to
looks a
get
little
what's called
gotcha.
an ascension or whatever. So, but it's not called gotcha like GOTCHA. It's like gacha, like it's an actual genre, Gacha. It's an actual genre of games. Gacha is
Just the art
how it's
style.
pronounced.
That art style right
So
off the bat got me like, oh, this looks like a mobile game. Like I've seen this before.
possible, but there is some great anime games that aren't gacha. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Oh well, this it's looking a little more interesting. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not. I hate when I see that. So hopefully it's not. Just that first the screen that I got, just that first picture, I was like, "Oh, that looks like a screenshot right from fucking Genshin Impact." That's exactly what that looked like to me. The Matchless Kung Fu reveal trailer. Hoping that's a game, not a movie. There's literally nothing else about it. That's all. I didn't get to, like I said, this is the part of the Game Awards I didn't get to watch. Fresh look at the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I've been really nervous about what's going on with that game just because they had that first trailer that was very poorly received by a lot of people. And definitely interested to see what's going to happen with this game because I do love the DC stuff, so I hope this game turns out good, but all you can do is wait and see. Ready or Not, coming December 13th. We already talked about Star Rail. GTFO's final update gets a trailer. GTFO's final update got the spotlight to 6 years after the game was revealed on the very same stage. That's kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
Asgard's Wrath 2. It's coming to MetaQuest December 15th. StarCraft like Stormgate gets a new gameplay trailer. So for the StarCraft fans out there. And that was the last big one. That's it for the reveals at the Game Awards. There was quite a bit. The Game Awards was packed this year, full of stuff.
Huge this year.
I'm always looking forward to that with the Game Awards, as they're always packed with stuff. So, but I think that's all for Game Awards stuff that I got to say. I mean, no big surprise that Baldur's Gate walked away with most of the awards I figured they were going to. So,
Spider-Man 2 getting 0, I think, is probably
I kind of giggled.
I feel like that's a
headline.
problem.
I kind of giggled
Yeah.
a little bit just because I am on Twitter all the time, and I see in the shit verse that is X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it.
It's forever Twitter.
And all the people that like I saw a couple reaction videos of a couple people who were on YouTube like live reacting to Baldur's Gate getting the Game of the Year award over Spider-Man, and people were like pissed off, like legitimately pissed off live on YouTube, like bitching about it. This one guy's like, how many people do you actually know that are playing Baldur's Gate? People were lined up outside to play Spider-Man 2. He was so fucking mad, dude. He's so mad.
Dude.
People were pissed about that. And, not taking anything away from Spider-Man 2, great game, but it came out in a year where there was a few other great games. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, it's tough.
We all know that Game of the Year 2025 is going to be Grand Theft Auto 6.
Hell yes. Let's go.
Yep. Already set in stone.
Game of Year 2024, that's up for debate. We don't know what that's going to be yet. But Game of Year 2025, Kyle's like Black Myth Wukong. But Game of Year 2025, we all know for a fact that's going to GTA 6. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, you heard it here first. I stand on that. I will stand on that for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was like that. It was like the year that fucking Red Dead Redemption 2 lost out to, didn't they?
Oh my god.
Who'd they lose?
Yeah, to fucking God of War.
Yeah, when they lost to God of War. Like, God of War is a great game. Don't get me wrong. But it is not Red Dead Redemption 2, dude. No, it ain't no Red Dead Redemption 2. No way.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I was pretty salty.
Rockstar puts out a game like that, it should just be guaranteed. Just make the award for them.
Yeah, like I do like watching the Game Awards, but some years I'm like, you guys are a little bit off your rocker. Like when they fucking
I have a silly point to make about this, and everyone, makes the point, and it's hard to please everybody. But like when I was doing investigating, because like I said, I was gonna roast the Game Awards in my last video, and I'm glad that I didn't, because after looking, and I was one of those people where it's like, oh, what the fuck, Red Dead, da 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 da. But if you look at it, I mean, God of War is technically like a sequel in a way, but it's a totally reimagined sequel. It was totally ground up. And Red Dead, as detailed as it is in the same engine. Like God of War did, they created a new engine for that, an entirely new engine for that game. So with that said, Red Dead is amazing, but they did have a lot of blueprint for the story. They had a blueprint, in their engine. Um, and it's a great story and it's a great game, and Rockstar undeniably is one of the greatest game makers of all time. I'm not saying that because the Red Dead series in general are some of the greatest games of all time, but I think at the time the reimagining of God of War was so vastly different from what the games were, and the more I think about it, I kind of think it might be like if there was a way for those games to maybe tie in a way, that's maybe my opinion. But honestly, the more I think about it and the more I investigated it, I think God of War kind of deserved it.
I can see your argument for that. I don't know, dude. I played both games. God of War it's got a great story. I just I still personally think that the amount of detail and the time and the voice acting and all of the different things that Red Dead 2 had going for it, I still personally give it to Red Dead 2, but everybody's opinion's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, and that's a really hard one, honestly. It's like I said, if there could be a tie for Game of the Year that year, that would kind of be my vote. Like I'm just on the fence about it. I played both games and I enjoyed both, but it's kind of easier for me as someone that's kind of more of a realist with games. Like I do look at Red Dead 2 and I do appreciate all of everything that's going into it. But I swear to God, if Grand Theft Auto 6 specifically is the same game design where I have to go to these exact, spots of interest and it just feels like the same engine and game design. Like it's just that blueprint. Like Rockstar games feel like Rockstar games, just like Bethesda games feel like Bethesda games. Not to say that like they're both in the same boat and Bethesda's just as good as Rockstar, but what I'm saying is like they have that feel to them. Like when
Yeah.
you're playing a Rockstar game, like for instance, when you need to run somewhere in a Rockstar or Grand Theft Auto game, you're tapping X. Like that's not the universal layout that we have for a controller now to run in a game. You know what I mean? It's just different, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's just what I'm saying for the groundwork. Like they're innovating in great ways, but like some of the ways that they innovated in is like animations that I don't need to see for that 1,000th time, like skinning an elk. And like the detail that they focused on is just like I kind of wish more of it went into like upgrading the engine and making their games feel modern, because like they feel modern because they graphically are impressive, and
Hmm.
but that's what those games have going for them is they're really pretty, but like there is times where it's just like I don't need to see, nutsack shriveling on a horse because it's cold outside. I don't need to see that level of detail
Are you sure
because
about that?
yeah, but like, or like when you're shooting a gun and you're using a controller in a Rockstar game, like it's just like you can kind of feel that clunky 2015 feeling of like it feels just like Grand Theft Auto 5. Unless you're playing these games on a mouse and keyboard, they feel so much better. Like shooting in Grand Theft Auto 5 on a mouse and keyboard feels amazing, but if you're playing on a controller, you can kind of feel that
Yeah,
early
it's old.
feeling. Yeah, it's old and it was before like aim assist was much of a thing, and it's just different and old and not kind of clunky feeling. So
Hmm.
that's why I give God of War more credit now, because they totally and time, like you say, the time that was put into it, there was a lot of time that was put into God of War, maybe just as much as Grand Theft, or not Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption. you know, to the time it took them 3 years just to build the engine.
And I totally get that. I just, after I seen the first two takedowns on the first two enemies, that's all the takedowns you see, and Kratos does the same takedown for those enemy types throughout the rest of the game. Like, you get him down to a certain amount of health, and it's the same animation every time. And even for some of the
Yeah,
bigger
yeah, and I
bosses,
totally get it.
and
I
those
totally get
little
it.
things took me out of it. I was like, at least throw in like 3 of them so there's a bit of a change up there, because every time I'm taking out one of these normal grunt enemies that you throw at me, it's the same takedown.
Yeah, and I get it. And like, but making video games is hard. You
Oh
know, you
yeah,
have
no,
to give credit where it's due.
I'm not saying it's
And
not
it's
hard at
like
all.
for me it's hard to like complain about a super polished game that like has really great core gameplay and be like, "Oh, I wish it would have had more of this," because they did add on to it with Ragnarok. It's like it's a reimagining, so to me it's essentially like a brand new IP. It is nothing like the original games. They can't reuse any of those assets. It's
100%.
it's fantastically voice acted. It's really great. So and I'm just saying like it's maybe a toss up for me. Like I can't really decide who deserved it that year, but I think God of War did get kind of shit on, you know, when it did win because they did it takes a lot in itself to just build a game engine. You know, that takes a lot. So I think it deserves a lot of credit.
I never said it didn't deserve a lot of credit. It's a great game
I didn't
nonetheless.
say that you didn't. I'm just sharing my opinion.
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
say that you did.
I just saying, like, I still think that Red Dead deserved it more, but I will always think that. I'm always gonna be
I'm not
biased in
trying
that
to
way.
convince you otherwise. I'm
Yeah.
just sharing my opinion. I'm not trying to convince you.
Um. But as for GTA, who knows what they're gonna do with their controller set. I I personally, I have this feeling that the controller setup is gonna be almost exactly the same from GTA 5 to GTA 6, just because it's been that way for so many years, and I just don't see them changing it up now, but I could be wrong.
I'll agree with you on that one, Chowder.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's been the same in every game.
mm-hmm. And I just don't see them changing it up now just because of the way the buttons are, but
Well,
I could be wrong.
the controller layout is like the smallest piece of the puzzle. That's something easy that you know they
Pickle
could
detail.
potentially change really easy. That's just changing buttons around. That's not a big deal. I'm just talking about like the core feeling of the game and how like even Red Dead just you know what I mean. I'm not taking away from those games, and they probably won't. You know, but like what from the preview that we saw they've done some work to that engine, so I would be
Mm-hmm.
surprised knowing Rockstar. You know, there was a lot of people coming
I think
forward.
they went.
Nakey Jakey, one of the biggest gaming YouTubers, made a whole documentary about how he's a huge fan of Rockstar, but their games are just like they it's just like Bethesda's creation engine, like it's just kind of holding them back at this point. And Rockstar makes the best of what they have because they are so creative. And I'm not taking away like they are one of my favorite developers of all time. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the engine is showing its age is all.
Um, from what I've heard, they're just upgrading their Rage engine again. For this game, they're just continuously updating that Rage engine, which
Right,
doesn't
right.
surprise
Which
me.
is it's a very strong engine. And when I'm like talking about like Bethesda and Rockstar, do not get me wrong. Like I'm not saying that like the creation or the Rage engine is in the same boat as like the creation because Rage is leagues above it. So if they stick with it, it's like it's a tolerable thing. It's not like truly holding back their games at this point. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like inconveniences. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it has that Rockstar feel is all I'm saying.
For sure. But I think for video game stuff, that's about all I got. Anybody else got anything they want to add before we? I'm gonna throw the hot seat to Kyle so he can talk about some movie stuff if he's got any for a second. I have to make a work phone call.
I don't really have much, honestly. Just went and saw The Boy and the Heron yesterday. Super fantastic movie. If you're into the Studio Ghibli movies, fantastic art. Some interesting animation for some of the scenes, and transitions, but also very well done. Cool story. Took me a minute to like grasp it, but very cool. I don't want to go too into it though. I tend to spoil stuff, so. Super good movie though. I definitely highly recommend. Some great voice actors in there: Christian Bale, Willem Dafoe, Mark Hamill's in it, Robert Pattinson.
Oh, stacked.
Yeah, it's huge. There's a few others. Also watched Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. New episode dropped Friday. Also just incredible. I'm loving all the MonsterVerse shit that we're getting right now. It's just all fantastic. But as far as news goes, A24 and Warner Bros. Discovery reached a deal, bringing all of their content to Max. I don't know when that will actually take effect, but that is going to happen. So they feature like movies like Iron Claw, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Uncut Gems, and then another one that is yet to drop is Civil War. So that's pretty cool. They also have some pretty killer horror movies too. So good news for Max, because they're kind of lacking outside of the month of October. But honestly, that's really it.
I don't really watch any TV. I don't have anything to add in that regard.
Yeah.
The only thing I can really add to TV stuff is that I am about to watch episode 1036 of One Piece. So I gotta wait for another batch of dubs to come, but that's about it.
Touch grass, nerd.
Never touching grass. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to go to the grocery store.
Now wait a minute.
That's
Chowder
funny.
touches grass every time he lights his bong.
That's
It's all
right.
good.
Hey, yeah.
I don't have to
That's
go
what's
outside to touch
up.
grass. I'm touching it right now.
Speaking of, I'm about to
That's
do that
funny.
myself.
Sorry. Thank you for taking that for a second. I had to make a work phone call. Stuff going
That's
on
cool.
at the job.
I do have a couple actually.
Go ahead.
Barbie comes to Max December 15th. I fucking just canceled it to save some money, so I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get this back. Dune 2 has a new release date of March 1st, 2024. I guess I should say part 2 is not Dune 2, it's Dune part 2.
Okay.
And then that Civil War thing, trailer should be coming out this week.
Sick.
Dude, I'm starting to think that Max and Paramount signed a deal. And the only reason I say that is all the Harry Potters went from Paramount to Max.
Yeah.
And then 90% of the ads I see on Max are Paramount plus ads.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some sort of
Deal.
deal with some of
There's
these
gotta be
guys, yeah.
something.
We just.
But I will say,
There's a lot of the.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
I was just gonna say a lot of the DC movies are moving from Max. Well, they're staying on Max, but a lot of them are going to Netflix as well right now.
Oh shit. Yeah, my TV's been unauthorized for Netflix, so I shake off on that one. But I will say I watched at like 3/4 of that David Holmes documentary for that stuntman from the fucking Harry Potters.
Mm-hmm.
And holy shit. Like day 2 of pre-filming and just testing out stunts, and it's when he broke his neck, and it wasn't even a violent fucking accident that happened.
Damn.
They just pulled him too hard. They just kept trying to get a little bit more. They were testing out like how hard they could pull him to get a little bit more of that action look in it, and they just pulled him too hard.
Wow, that sucks.
I do want to
So-
see that documentary though. It seems
Yeah,
super interesting.
Yeah,
I really want to watch it.
It was great. I mean, they go over his entire life. I think it's like, I want to say you're like halfway through the documentary before they even talk about the injury.
Mm.
Like
wow.
before they even
Really?
bring it up. Yeah, they talk about
That's cool.
everything from like his childhood, him getting into gymnastics, and then he was at a gymnastics meet when the fucking like director of the Harry Potters basically found him.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
And-
dope.
So he's like 3 years older than Daniel Radcliffe, and Radcliffe was just like, dude, it was like growing up with an older brother. Like he taught me everything
That's cool.
and stuff like that. And so, but it was like day 2 of, like I said, they weren't even like really shooting. They were just kind of going over stunts, and he was the lead
Wow.
stuntman. So
Just testing.
yeah, they were just testing, and they had him in a harness, and they were doing a jerk back, and they went from, I think they said they went from like 20 pounds of pressure to like 30 pounds. And the other guy, there was another stuntman that came in, I think on like the 4th or 5th movie, and kind of was David's backup, and he was like, dude, let me take this one. And David's like, no, I'm lead, I gotta take it. And David said as soon as he went back, he knew something was wrong, and he was just like, it was just dangling from this wire limp. Like it wasn't a catastrophic incident. It was nothing. It was just like that.
Fuck.
Which, working in the trampoline industry, those types of things happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like just something went wrong, and it's not even by failure or anything. It's just some freak accident went wrong. So, but yeah, that documentary was pretty fucking legit.
Some leaks about the Deadpool movie.
Ooh.
Sabretooth confirmed.
Ooh.
Tooth confirmed.
Also dead.
Yeah. Damn.
Ryan
Deadpool
Reynolds had to put a statement out.
The Deadpool movie's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I'm looking at a list of all rumored appearances, and it's fat, man.
We'll have to see how many of them actually come true.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the big thing.
No kidding.
But let's see. I don't think.
Hey, sorry to cut it short, guys, but I actually got to run out of here. But
No worries,
thanks
Joe.
for having me.
Yeah, Joe, thanks for joining us while you could. Hope you have a good day, brother.
Yeah, dude.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.
I was gonna say, I honestly don't think I have too much else. I just really wanted to talk about the Game Awards and stuff like, yeah, and some of the trailers. I mean, I'm really stoked to see that Blade trailer because that looks sick, and I'm a little nervous. I hope Arcane Leon can redeem themselves after Redfall. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I guess we'll kind of wrap this up unless anybody's got anything else they want to add.
Just that
I'm
Baldur's
good.
Gate 3 is the best game ever.
Yeah, I know everyone wants me to play it, but I'm just not ready to spend $70 on it right now. Just because, like I said, it's
worth it.
It's not always my style of game, so we'll have to wait and see. Besides that, I have some other things planned for stream. I'm really hoping to get into a Gears of War playthrough on stream.
Yeah.
So I have a couple things planned first before I start fucking playing through a whole new game like that. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see what happens. Time is limited, and also the one thing that pulls me away from all the other games that I want to play is Warzone. All I want to do is play Warzone all the time, dude. So
I know, I'm like, we're gonna play Predecessor, I think, today, but man, I could also play some Warzone.
I was just gonna ask, what are you playing after this? Because if you want to play Warzone, I'm not.
Predecessor.
Okay, I was gonna say if you want to play Warzone, I'm not gonna fucking say no.
I already got a team lined up for us, so.
Okay, well, I have to get the upload started first, and then I have to update, or I have to get on my PC, and I have to fuck with some settings first before I start playing. So.
Okay. Cool. Just let me know. We'll have a spot for you.
Okay, word. But yeah, couple little shouts. Make sure to check out the Demon Club link tree down below. It'll be on the YouTube video here down below in the description. It'll be below on the Spotify in the description of the Spotify. Everybody's links, including Kira's, are down below. Make sure to check those out. I'm also working on making myself a link tree so I can just stop copying 4 different links for myself because I'm fucking lazy.
Watch out, pal.
It's just easier.
Yeah. But that's about that's about it. We did talk a little bit last time about our newest members, Lowe's and Dark Bloom. We did have Lowe's on an earlier podcast, but unfortunately we had a sound issue and he didn't get to talk very much last time. So we're gonna try a redo with him pretty soon here. Yeah, so definitely be looking out for that. And also would like to say, and we'll make this little announcement. Let's see. Today is the 10th. I've been trying to think about this. Today's the 10th, 17th. Okay, so our next episode will be on the 17th, which will be episode 10. The plan is to be on a new Twitch channel that I've made. I still have to work out a few kinks. The plan is to be on a new Twitch channel and streaming the podcast to the Twitch channel from now on. But also I'm thinking that episode 11 might get delayed to December 31st. I know I thought earlier I would have time and I might probably be at home that morning to do stuff, but I think it would be nice actually to take one weekend off where we're not having to worry about getting up and podcasting. I would like to take one weekend off at least. So I think
Sure, absolutely.
I think Christmas Eve will be
Figure it out.
Yeah, I think the 24th, Christmas Eve, we will not be doing a episode for the podcast, but we'll be right back December 31st. That'll be our New Year's Eve. We'll do one on New Year's Eve. That'll be kind of fun, I think. We'll come back New Year's Eve and then we'll just,
talk about all the gifts we got.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah.
Christmas and all the stuff. So I think it'll be fun to take a little break. So next episode, I'm hoping to be on the Demons Club Twitch channel, which we will make sure to have linked in the Discord for everybody to follow, and I'll make sure to tag myself in the description so that maybe some people who might see my name will, we can start to bring some of those followers over. So looking forward to that. Like I said, got to work out a few kinks. I will be in Kyle's chat. I think I have a workaround and I should be in game chat, and you guys should be able to hear me here shortly when we're playing Predecessor. I just have to fuck with my PC a little bit. So
cool.
All right.
Yeah, no worries.
Kira, again, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Kira.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes. Great job, everybody. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their weekend, and we will talk to everybody soon, and we'll get planned for the next episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Later, y'all.
Later.